right now, as far as I'm concerned, the Knicks just need to get healthy. I know we're on a losing streak. I understand that, but I am not going to waver. This is a great team when we are at full strength. We're missing Julius Randle. We're missing Ihart. We're missing Dante DiVincenzo. We're missing a lot, Mitch. We're missing a lot of guys. OG. We're missing key players, people. This is not the final form of the New York Knicks that you're going to see when it's around playoff time. You understand? Like, this is not the product you're going to see. So, what I'm going to say is let's keep our cool and let's get healthy, man. The All-Star break couldn't come sooner. I'll say that, man. Shout out to the Orlando Magic for coming out and playing tough, and they're a good young upstart team, man. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. He put up numbers, but we're short and we're hobbled, man. It is what it is. I really didn't feel that bad about this loss. I really, honestly, I wanted them to rest Brunson. I hate that he even played.
Right. The thing is, here's the thing about resting these players. We're going to get into this as well, too. Shout out to the chat gang, by the way. You can tell that I'm new in terms of doing these lives because we were doing this for a while, Jay. I forgot to hit go live on the YouTube. So we were just talking to the private group in the community for a good 4 minutes. But good news is we're live now. So everybody's listening. Everybody's contributing to the chat. But you know what? This is the thing about doing these first and doing these things live and doing these things right. Sometimes you have hiccups, but the best part about these hiccups is the way you recover and jump back on board. And that's why we're talking about the game. That's why I got my guy Jay from the East New York live as the co-host on the app X. If you want to be a speaker, you see us speaking up here, jump on the app X, follow me, follow my guy Jay, and then jump up there. Give me your take. It doesn't have to be about the topics we're talking about right now. Obviously, we're talking about a lot of things. It doesn't have to be these things. If you have a take on your chest that you can't help but have to get off, you gotta say it. Come up here. Talk to me about it. Knicks Live is about the fans. It's a show about the fans, but it's also to help the content creators of the community, to give them a platform to help showcase their skills and what they can do. That's why my guy Jay is here. You see him on the screen. You see his @ Please make sure you give him a follow. I don't put people on this platform if I don't believe in them and I don't think that they're ready to do something special. My guy Jay, he's hitting the threshold ready to do something special. Follow my guy now, because when he gets too high, he won't be able to. But right now, we're talking about the last night's game with the Orlando Magic. And obviously, it was an issue from multiple standpoints. And we got a lot of people in the room. I appreciate that. I know we're going to grow in the room on the app X. We got a lot of people in the live chat here. I'm going to get to your comments in a second. But Alec Burks has to be something we talk about. I'm not leaving this space until Alec Burks is talked about, ladies and gentlemen. Because Alec Burks shot 16 shots last night, got 5 of them. Negative 28 game low, 13 points. Why do I want to talk about Alec Burks? Why do I want to talk about Alec Burks, Jay?
Yo, shout out to my guy Birkenbag Burks, but he played terrible last night, man. We ain't gonna run from the truth, man. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. We're gonna keep it simple. Look, this is my only problem with AB.
Right.
Like he's a shot heavy guard, and we need him to rein it in. Like right now, we need you to play more of the Knicks style of basketball. And we've all heard Tibbs say, "Trust the pass." You feel me? There was a couple times when he was looking to shoot, and he should have been looking to pass. So Alec Burks, you being a veteran guy, it comes a time when you have to understand like your role. And right now, your role is to be more of a facilitator for the others. Get the others involved. We know you can get yours. You know what I'm saying? You just got to temper yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Find your way into the offense, and that's how you're going to gain some chemistry through practice and repetition and understanding your role. I think that's the key part that's missing too. And I'm not putting this on Tibbs. I'm just saying, your player DNA is what it is. You feel me? And Alec Burks is a shooter. He likes to score. He likes to get to the basket. He likes to put up threes. You know what I'm saying? So he has to understand that right now, it's a transition phase. You should be looking to get others going as opposed to just getting your shot off. Again, we're shorthanded. We're hobbled. So I look at it like maybe he just felt like, you know what? Somebody got to put up the shots. And he shooters shoot. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But he played terribly last night, and I didn't like his shot selection at all. And going forward, as guys come back, roles will come down. You feel me? Like we're kind of like using overusing guys or using guys way above their means, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because we're so short, man. But again, All-Star break couldn't come any sooner because now we're gonna have time to sit back and watch tape on both sides of the floor. You know what I'm saying? Teams have been hunting Brunson ever since guys like OG and Randall went out. You know, like we got to start figuring that out because in the playoffs,
Yep.
that's what's gonna matter the most. You know what I'm saying? Being ready for these teams and trying to counteract the schemes that they're gonna throw at us. You know, right now it's to me it's just a transitional phase, man. It is what it is. I'm not gonna poo poo the team. You feel me? I just feel
Yeah.
like there's small things we could work on.
See, here's the thing with AB for me, it's the passing. And shout out to Outlaw in the chat right now on YouTube who's saying that the reason AB is when it is an issue is because his shots are too contested and he's not passing the ball. That's the thing. He's not passing the ball when contested. I don't care if you're gonna shoot. Shoot if you want to shoot. AB's the shooter we got. I know what AB can do. But money AB's not gonna be AB if you're shooting that ball with two people in your face. Or hands
Facts.
in your face. Like you can't do that, Jay. Like he needs to have a higher basketball IQ. And I think playing with the Pistons
Mm-hmm.
kind of just like, well, who cares? We gonna lose anyways, right? I'm gonna get my shot. You not with the Pistons no more.
Facts.
You with the Knicks. We a contender.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play like this with a contender. You gotta pick your spots right. You gotta pick your shots right. We know who to give the ball to at the end of the day. It's not you. Maybe it was before in Detroit, but it ain't no more. That's Jalen. When you on the floor with Jalen, your first option should never be, should I shoot first? It should be, let me get the ball to Jalen and then see what happens. Because he's going to break down the defense for you anyways. And you got to get to the best player on the floor because that's how the game of basketball gets easier for you, Jay, when you get more people involved. If you get others involved, it becomes easier. He doesn't get nobody involved. He does it all himself. It's hero ball when we don't need hero ball. I,
I
I,
feel you. I feel you. Recap. Yo, shout out to State, man. I can't. I hear State in my head like he's just somewhere screaming like I fucking hate Alec Burks. Like, yo, it is what it is, man. We gonna be all right. Like I said, man.
yeah.
I think he just has to understand the system and what we doing here in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he just came from Detroit. That's a
Yep.
losing environment, and right now he's just a little too shot heavy taking contested threes and you got guys wide fucking open. That's just terrible. You know
Crazy.
what I'm saying?
It's wild to me. Like it, and this is and this goes into a very good topic that we're gonna get into, Jay, as you already know. The Knicks' next move. And the number one question I probably get asked on every platform that I'm on, even though people think I don't have those answers, but I can always suspect and I can always look into what's been reported and talk about it. You know, for the Knicks' next moves, we're talking about the buyout market, Jay. Talking about the Knicks have two final roster spots. Per Ian Bagley, I actually want to shout this out because I love that guy. He actually reported this. He answered KNYT Hoops, who's a very good and popular YouTuber, as well as a guy on X as well too. He asked Ian Bagley a question in his mailbag regarding if the Knicks are going to be on the buyout market for insurance purposes. And what he basically said was that the Knicks have two open roster spots so they can sign a veteran big man, but entering the week, there was no significant talks with any centers available via the buyout market. But here's where things get a little bit more interesting. Even though he said that, he also mentioned that the Knicks were looking potentially at the G League to get some of those players on the roster in a way to promote some of those players. For me, I actually like that a little bit better. There's nobody on the buyout market right now that I could see the New York Knicks should go after. It doesn't really, like, there's not a name that makes sense to me, Jay, that I can think of in my head. Like, yeah, that's the guy. I know people have pitched what? Robin Lopez is a name I think I've heard.
Yeah.
So I guess let me just get your opinion on it before we dive a little further into this. Clearly, we have two final roster spots. We need to fill them in. We actually have till next week to fill them, and we're at 13. And the Knicks, we only get a 2-week reprieve for that. So in one more week, we're going to get hit with something if we don't sign somebody. So we have to sign somebody. March 1st is a date to watch because anybody who's released prior to that, they'll be available for a postseason roster spot. So it's something to watch as well. Where do you think the New York Knicks are going to land here? They're going to go to the G League or they're going to sign somebody for the buyout market?
Yo, shout out to Ian Begley. I seen the mailbag episode that he posted on YouTube as well.
Yep.
Those are some great questions, man. Shout out to the guys on Twitter. You know, they do a lot of good work for us in the fan base. So I don't think the Knicks are actually gonna pick anybody up. I don't believe that. You know, I'm just gonna listen to what I'm hearing from the professionals, and it seems like the Knicks aren't really interested in signing any of these guys. Like you said, there was a little smoke with Robin Lopez, you know, another former Knick, but I don't see it happening, man. If they do go to G League route, that's cool. Bring up a Jalen Martin, bring up Dimitro Skapentsev. I hope I said his name right. The foreign guy, the big
I
guy.
know
So
exactly who you're talking about. I see him in my head, but I know for a fact if I tried to repeat what you just said, there is no chance that I'm doing that. But good job.
But yeah, so shout out to those two. Those were the first two guys that come to my mind. I don't really pay attention to the G League. Maybe there's some other guys that the fans probably are aware of that
You
I'm
don't
not.
you don't want to do Jacob and Charlie Brown? You wouldn't want to do that?
Jacob, I thought Jacob was already on the roster.
He's a
Didn't they
two
bring
way.
him
He's
up?
a two way. He's not a standard. You have to have standard
Oh,
people on the deals. Yeah, he's not part of that. If they convert him, he'd be a standard NBA player you have on the roster. Yeah.
well,
Um,
there's a lot of interest around Jacob, so I wouldn't be opposed to him coming up either. But just off the top, I thought of Jalen Martin and Dimitro.
I like Jalen. I like that a lot too. He's also been good, but I think Jacobs has been balling though. That's the thing. You got to do it. If we're doing it based off of who deserves it, it should be based off what you're doing right now. And I think Jacob has proven himself enough to at least earn a standard contract. So, and that way they can go ahead and use that two-way spot for another player. So it's still more things that they can do, and it shows progression. This guy went from a two-way to the standard NBA deal to making a team. Think about if you're Westchester and you're playing there. How motivated are you now to play harder because you think if you do that, it may potentially lead to a contract. I don't know. I think it's a good thing to think about. But the Robin Lopez thing, Jay, can you explain it? You want this guy? You want that guy?
Absolutely not, man. We just need to get healthy, man. Shout out to Mitch and Iheart. I can't wait to get our boys back.
So you don't want the Knicks to explore the buyout market then?
Especially not for a big. No, I mean that's just gonna cause a glut once we're fully healthy.
But but Jay, when is that? When is fully healthy, Jay? Because it feels like that keeps moving. Is it March? Is it April? Because I when are we gonna get everybody back?
Listen, my future sight is the playoffs, man. So I just get to the playoffs, stay within the top four, get to the playoffs. That as far as health is concerned, you feel me? Like I just want guys to get healthy. Don't rush anybody back. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna need these guys for a deep playoff run. So that's where my focus is at. Guys getting healthy for the playoffs, man. And it's not too much sliding going on in the East. You know what I'm saying? The top is the top. The middle is and the bottom isn't moving. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay, man. We just got to get to the playoffs fully healthy, or just having our 9-man roster. You feel me? Like we need our guys. We need our main guys.
Before we go into the comments for the day, Jay, and we're gonna get some speakers as well too and whatnot. Could you introduce that show you're doing? I know you're doing a new show as well to a new podcast, right? Why don't you go ahead and
Oh
push
yeah,
that a little
yeah, yeah.
bit?
Shout out to my guy JJ Seglio, man. Every Saturday the Orange and Blue Crew.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we on Sunday, man. But yeah, this is a new thing that I'm doing. I'm co-hosting. We basically do like a little recap of the week. We talk about different topics and stuff, man. And I'm just getting out there, man, just testing the waters. And my guy JJ reached out to me, so how could I deny that, man? I appreciated that. He's a young kid. He's out here grinding. He's trying to make something of himself, man. So I really appreciated the fact that he thought of me and he approached me, So
Yeah.
I'm definitely down. And Orange and Blue Crew, man, every Saturday, man, you can catch us around the afternoon. We probably run between 12 and 1 p.m. We do about 45 minutes on the live, and then you can catch it on the upload later, man, if you can't catch it live.
You heard it right there, Orange and Blue Crew. Make sure you're tuning in on Saturdays. I know I will be. I love my Knicks content, especially when you got people who know ball and know what they're talking about. Again, I don't bring anybody up here who I don't feel can have a basketball conversation with me. And Jay is definitely one of those people. Again, it's new speaker prioritization. So if you are a new speaker, get up here. If you see 5 people up here, you're going to be prioritized. You're going to skip the line, and you're going to be able to cut ahead and give us your take about the New York Knicks. It could be about any of the topics we're talking about now. It could be on the topic that's currently on the board on X, which is called Knicks Live. Knicks' next move, chemistry versus talent, could be part of that, or it could be a topic we haven't hit yet. Either way, we're going to move. Let's go to the comment first, and then we're going to get to some of the speakers. We got one comment in the chat from, I believe it's Zoe, and I think he's the guy from YouTube as well, so shout out to you. No more Taj minutes. It's OG time to put on a suit, and Toppin is a liability. Burks, he gave an insane face, I guess. Also, there aren't any pickups worthwhile on the buyout market besides Lopez and Morris. Morris already linked to the T-Wolves, shaking my head. Yeah, I listen. we forget about the depth that the Knicks have already. We already are deep when we're healthy. The thing is, what are you gonna do to get healthy? Because you can't keep abusing the players you have to get healthy because you're gonna create another cycle of injuries, and then they're gonna get injured, and the other people are gonna come back. So it's gonna be constant. So you're gonna have to find a way to rest and find a way to play. I'm not saying Charlie Brown Jr. and Jacob Toppin are the answer, but if you're asking me, can they help facilitate a need and help a position a need for the Knicks? Then yeah, we can get some minutes off if they play though. And for right now, they're gonna play. We have injuries. As we get deeper and healthier, it's not gonna be the case. So I think it's something to think about. But I wouldn't just look at the buyout market for sure right now. And maybe some people want to just stay pat. If you want to stay just straight and not do anything, then you agree with me then. You want to go to the G League because that's how you stay exactly where you are. If you go out and get a buyout market candidate, you got to make room for him. I don't know how you're going to be able to do that. Let's go over to the first speaker, Ari, and then we're going to go over to, I believe it was Mario after that. But I see Ev up here, and I haven't heard from Ev before. Or maybe I have, but it was a while ago. So after Ari goes, we're going to go to Ev. So Ari, what's going up, family? How you feeling, man? Welcome to Knicks Live, and what's your take, bro, about this about your team?
What's up, Miguel Recap, Troy? Appreciate you, Jay from the East, obviously. Um, Listen, I mean, we're talking about the 14th and 15th man over here, so I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. But if we do have to, I just think from a like a first principles logic perspective, if you're already deep when you're healthy, and you have two roster spots, but the entire team is injured, then maybe use those roster spots as insurance for the players that are most likely to remain. So, I don't trust Mitchell Robinson's health ever. Um, I don't, uh, you know, and I think we need another ball handler, I guess, because Alec Burks, granted, has not looked well. He'll still be all right in the playoffs, but he's not like a point guard, right? And I know you have Deuce, keep Deuce, you could do that, but I would bring another big body in, like a 7 footer, just for someone to just fucking be tall, in case Mitch doesn't come back or Randall's out or whatever, to help out iHeart. And then I would bring, listen, bro, you know who I want, but he's blackballed from the league, so we're not gonna get him. But um,
Can you
you
can you
know,
can you do me a favor? YouTube doesn't know who you're talking about. Can you say it for the YouTube audience?
yeah, it's the walking bucket, Alonzo Trier. So I would take him, but you know, and just for the people that were clowning his G League stats, he had that back surgery, so it's a serious surgery. So anyway, whatever. Bring me a ball handler with high upside from the G League, I guess, whatever. And bring me a tall motherfucker for what I would do. But in general, I just the only take I really have is you can't complain about the injuries and then justify playing Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart 40 minutes a night against Orlando, a team you were going to get washed by regardless the day before the All Star break. Like you're upset about the injuries, but then you're giving Tibbs the leash to play Josh Hart, who literally looks like he's about to die out there sometimes. He's running around like a fucking maniac. You play him 45 minutes a night, 42 minutes, 38 minutes, whatever a night, and you're going to justify that because we have to win every game, but then you're going to complain that these guys are injured. It's circular logic. It makes no sense to me. We're going to be missing these guys for a while, dude. They're not going to come back next week. Maybe you get Dante back. Maybe you get iHeart back, I guess. But Mitch, Randall, OG, they're not coming back for Philly next week, in a week from today. Jalen Brunson's not getting really much of a rest. He's got to get on a plane and fly to Indiana, and then he's got to do all these press conferences. Then he has to do 3-point competition. Then he has to play in the game. Obviously, it's not an intense game, but he's not like he's going to Aruba to sit on a fucking beach. That guy, and he's our franchise. And my final point is, not all minutes are created equal, right? Like playing 40 minutes in a fucking preseason game or a summer league game. Well, summer league they play hard, I guess, but like playing 40 minutes a game in the preseason is obviously not different. Is different than 40 minutes in the playoffs because you're playing harder. It's about how the intensity of those minutes. Josh Hart plays very intensely because he sucks, so he has to play intensely, right? So for someone who plays that intensely, no wonder this guy has fucking jumper's knee when he's fucking playing 40 minutes a night, right? Jalen Brunson plays pretty intensely, dude.
Yeah.
You know, they go out with playoff intensity every game. So it's not just about the minutes, it's about the intensity of those minutes. I don't think he's got like everyone's like, get to the All-Star break. All right. 7 days from now, what's the excuse going to be when our team's still injured, right? We just have to weather the storm, not worry about playoffs. Like obviously you don't want to get the 4 or 5 seed. So you don't want to play Boston, but
True.
you know, you do what you got to do to stay afloat. But you got to prioritize. You got to get the minutes distribution has to be more evenly distributed to take the pressure off these guys, so they do have something left in the playoffs. So I don't understand how people can fucking say you play every game to win the game. You know, Brunson can go, he can go, and then you're going to complain about injuries. It's fucking retarded to me. But that's my take, man. I appreciate it. Salute to you guys.
Appreciate
I got a
you. Go ahead, Jay.
question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Oh, actually, before you go, Jace, we got Killer Kamikaze in the YouTube chat. This is to Ari. He says Alonzo Cheer, bet. Might as well bring back Clean Anthony early and Kevin Seraphin.
My God, dude. That's the lowest IQ fucking comment I've ever heard in my life, dude.
Yo, they don't like Alonzo Trier, bro. I'm sorry, Ari. It triggers people, bro.
Yeah, I mean, all the guy did was fucking toast prime James Harden and fucking almost make the 90-50-40 club as a rookie and make RJ Barrett cry in practice, but they don't want him. Like, come on, man.
Jay, I know you had a question for Ari. Go ahead.
Man, I got to get another basketball take from you after this Alonzo Trier mess. Okay, so Deuce's minutes. I want you to speak on what you think should happen going forward, because it seems like ever since we made this Bojan and Burks trade, Deuce's minutes have somewhat seemed to gotten lower, and I really don't understand. I think that Tibbs is like, is he tinkering? Do you think that this is a product of him trying to figure some things out? Because right now Burks is just not looking like he fits into what we're trying to do off the bench. Offensively, he's just a gunner. So my question to you, Ari, is how important is Deuce's minutes, and like how would you implement him? Like, do you feel like Tibbs is playing him enough?
All right, I'm back. Do I think? Well, no, I don't think Tibbs is playing him enough for right now because we're shorthanded, right? Because we have a lot of injuries. I think now is the time for Deuce to play heavy minutes, like 35 minutes a game, just to see what he's capable of in the playoffs, if he's even rotation worthy. And so Jalen Brunson doesn't have to play all these minutes when we're going to lose regardless. So I think he should be playing more minutes now. Now I don't think he's going to play a lot in the playoffs. And listen, I like Deuce's intensity. I like how hard he plays. I like how he picks up full court. I love his defense. And you know, I know he could score a little bit, but I don't trust that fucking guy in the playoffs, dude. Like I think he's gonna not really play much in the playoffs unless he shows Tibbs something differently. But right now, he's not getting enough minutes. But once the players come back, he's not gonna play really because you're gonna have Alec Burks, you're gonna have fucking Bogey, you're gonna have Dante, Hart, So I think the short answer is I'm not happy with the minutes he's getting right now, but I'm okay if he doesn't play in the playoffs that much. Now, I would put him in the playoffs, like, for example, like, let's say, your defense is lacking and you're getting beat and it looks like, you're playing like hungover in the playoffs. I could see a scenario where you throw Deuce in for a couple of minutes, like a 4-minute stretch, just to fucking switch up the energy, terrorize the ball handler a little bit, just to switch it up. Like he's a situation. Like I wouldn't put him as a rotational guy. He's a situational guy, is the way I would say it.
Situational. That's probably Tom Thibodeau's favorite word, honestly. So shout out to you, Ari, and appreciate your take. Again, if you guys want to come up here, please go ahead and do so. It would mean a lot if you guys could share the space. That way, everybody knows it's going on. They can hop up here or go on YouTube, whichever way you want to consume the content at this point in time. To chop it up with me and Jay, listen to what we got going on, the great basketball take that we have. And not only that, though, as well, if you can't come up, hit that comment button as well. We can get to your comments just in case we can't get to you. And Mario, I think you're on. You just got off of mute, brother. Before I hear a baboon comment, you might want to go back on mute, brother.
So you were the one that said you heard that yesterday.
Oh, absolutely, I heard that. Nobody couldn't hear that.
I was on mute, man. I don't know why that happened.
You was
man,
not on mute. Your phone said nope, baboon.
but
That's
it
all
said
I
mute
heard.
on my phone. I got a corrupted phone anyway, though, man. But anyway, shout out to you, Recap, Jay from the East, Ari. Thank you, and I think his name was Mozon that turned me on to that site. Man, I got to watch the game last night, and yeah, it wasn't a fun game to watch, but I watch them anyway. Uh, we all talk about. Shout out to everybody else in the room and the ladies also. Okay, we all talk about when our guys come back healthy. And I was listening to the post game about Burks is Tibbs' man, and he's gonna play him the way he wants to play him, which is a backup point guard. You know, I don't think that's what's gonna happen, or it shouldn't happen. We got Bojan and Burks to be corner three guys, right? I mean, isn't that why we made the trade pretty much? I mean, there's probably some disagreement. No, we got Burks because Tibbs likes him. So he's going to be Brunson's backup. Well, whatever. If he does, that sometimes let it happen. But, I don't think that, that's the plan. They got him for 3-point shooting. They're both shooting 40% better, right? Bojan, I think, is going to work well. If Burke stays in the corner and doesn't bring the ball. Last night he did because there's nobody in the lineup, man. That was our bench unit. Then Burks is part of the bench unit. He's not going to be a starter. He's not going to be a backup for Burks unless Tibbs makes it that way. And that's where, I don't know if Leon has anything to say what Tibbs does. Use him in the corner. I don't know about, not to get off the subject, but I'm not, in the playoff, Deuce is going to get eaten up, man. He's just too small. His handle isn't that great. He can't get to the bucket that often. He's basically shooting spot ups, from the free throw line, or threes, He's not passing the ball around that much. The ball is not moving. And if the plan was to bring Burks and Bojan in to be corner three guys, it should move. The ball should move. Brunson, I'm not going to knock Brunson. He's our star player, but he don't pass the ball around enough. I mean, he takes the ball to the freaking hoop. Every time. It's like he brings the ball over the half court line. Hart comes around, takes it. Hart might pass it off to somebody else. If he's got an opening, he might go in and miss a layup. You know, I mean, the only time Hart is really good is when he gets a rebound and he pushes it himself and then goes in and takes a layup himself. You know, other than that, he's passing like Ari said. He's running around like a nut. I would think that if they're gonna have a second unit, that means Dante is going to play in the first unit, right?
Yeah, I
Right.
pretty much as the starting two guard going forward.
Yeah, I don't see him losing that spot anymore. You'd have to. I think an
Yeah,
all-star have to come here to do that.
which I would rather see him play in the second unit and be a backup point guard for Brunson. Because you got the corner three guys with Burks and Bojan. He can prove he can bring the ball up. He can't get to the rack like Brunson can, but at least he can maybe move the ball around a little bit more. You know, uh, My definite feeling is we don't know how these guys are coming back. You know, one injury and it can put Randall right back down. You know, one injury can put iHeart right back down. Same thing with like OG. We don't know, man. It's all speculation on how these guys are gonna come back. And I don't know what's that, 35 games left or 30 games left, man. It ain't much time, you know? So they should put minutes restriction on all these guys coming back injury prone, do our best to get up to a top seed, the 3 seed or whatever. I'd love to see us get the 3 seed, but I don't know if that's possible, because if we play these guys to the ground when they come back, we're gonna re-injure them and they're gonna be out again. So that's ridiculous to me. You know, I don't want to repeat what Ari says, but Brunson does play too many goddamn minutes, man. He plays too many goddamn minutes, man. And
Yeah.
for our star player, I don't like to say if he goes down, we're dead. But I mean, there's a lot of factual facts to that. If he goes down, we're dead. We're
Yeah.
back to Randall bringing the ball up and trying to get to the hoop and bounce and buck, whoever the defender is, and he's gonna get injured again.
Yeah.
That shoulder ain't gonna be 100% right when he comes back, and that's his game. He's gonna use that bad shoulder to the bump and get in, and then go with his left hand to shoot. So
Hold,
he's going to get re-injured again if he plays that same way.
hold
Because,
on.
he's a bull, when he gets inside there, right? He's
Go
a
ahead, Jay.
bull.
Go ahead, Jay. What you got? You got something to say to Mario on that take?
Yeah, I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect. Go
so
ahead.
with Julius Randle specifically, um, I think we see a more tame version of Randle. Of course, he's still going to be a bull in a China shop, but I think that now that he's had this injury, I think when he comes back, I think he's going to, play in a more finesse way. And I don't mean he's not going to be physical. I just don't think that he's going to be as like okay, Randall, he loves to use that left shoulder to gain a little bit of space or his right shoulder to gain a little bit of space. He's a lefty. So he likes to use that right shoulder to gain a little bit of space at times. I think this is going to actually help him to be more of a post up player as opposed to trying to be face up and just pushing guys past them. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways around it. All of this is just a scheme. So my question to you, OG, is like when you come back from an injury, like it tend to make you smarter. You tend to play in a certain way where you're like not gonna really hurt yourself. And I think that Randall is a very like adaptive player when it comes to that. I don't think he's gonna play in a way that's gonna be like hard on his body. I just don't see it happening going forward because now he's had that injury. So like what do you say to that?
Ooh, that's interesting. Go ahead, Mario. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but let's take his injury last season with his ankle. He came back and he started off real slow for about 10 games, right?
But
So
style
I
of
mean,
play, that's what I'm talking about. He wasn't like trying to like get to the rim and do crazy things because that ankle, unfortunately he was, shooting more, and that didn't really bode well. But like that was a style change, you feel me? Like as he got
Oof.
healthier, he got his ass in the post and he started making them plays. So I think that we're gonna see a more tame Randall. I don't think he's gonna be less of himself. I just think he's just gonna play smarter so that way he doesn't re-injure himself. And let's be real here, Julius Randle, he's one of the best NBA bodies in the league. Like he looks really strong, and as, if he's rehabbing well and things are going well as reported,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there's much to be worried about as long as he's not playing recklessly.
But you just gave me something to worry about, though, Jay. You just told me he's not going to play the game he normally plays because he going to have to watch out for that shoulder, which good reason. But if he becomes more of the shooter, or he doesn't, bully himself inside, that takes away from who Randall is this season. The reason I believe Randall is so good and effective this season is because he knows what works for his game. Those threes never did. Bully
that's
ball
right.
Randall has always been what worked.
That's right. And that's when his game started to be better this year because
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't taking all those threes. He takes a few when he's set, and the ball gets past him. and he takes a spot up three, and he's good at taking threes, but not as many as he used to take last year. That's why.
That's fair.
But if he's not going to come back and play at least 75% to 100%, then he's not playing this game. He needs to be to try to get into the lane, and he's going to be bumping people. And there's no way out of that for him. He's got to play that way to be what we saw Randall doing after the first start of the season. He was playing better. We were all hyped on the way Randall was getting into the bucket and stuff like that. As a spotter, what are you saying? Be set in the lane, take a pass, and then go to the hoop instead
No,
of
but
dribbling from
in,
the.
instead of attacking like straight head on. What I think is like we see more screens, we see more picking and rolling, we see more of him like low post plays. You feel me? Like where he's literally posting up. But of course he has to be careful with that right shoulder. But he's not a right-handed player. You know what I'm saying? So he may post up, but if he hit a guy with a shimmy boop bop, turn around, spin, he can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Shimmy
And
boop
Randall
bop.
can hit a floater as well. He doesn't have to just straight bowl through guys. I don't think that he necessarily has to do that. I think that's just his particular way of playing. These guys are NBA players. You know what I'm saying? Like they have skill sets, but there's other talents that they may have. They just don't utilize as often. But I think Randall could still get off in the paint, man. I don't think he's gonna drop off too much.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. He's gonna be shy away from his shoulder because he knows if he's injures it again, he's out. He's out for the season, right? If he pops it out again, he's probably done for the season.
Well,
So, but
hopefully that don't happen.
right,
Yeah.
right, and I'm not wishing anything bad on anybody.
Yeah,
I
of
want
course.
everybody to come back 100%, but we know that's not gonna happen.
Hmm.
That's not gonna happen. About Burks, Burks can handle a ball. He can handle a ball. He's bigger than Deuce. As far as giving some rest
Brunson.
to Brunson. He can give him some rest. I like Deuce, and he's worked hard and he's earned his minutes and stuff like that. But somehow, like we got to give Brunson rest. But Tibbs ain't gonna do that, man. If these come back and they're ready to play on the floor, he's playing them. You know. And what's it drop down to, a 9-man rotation once the playoffs start?
Probably. And the thing is, I'm curious to see how that's gonna work. If it goes to a 9 man or not. With the new
Yeah.
players and the new additions, I wouldn't be surprised if he expanded it back to a 10 because he has the personnel that I think he could believe in for a 10 now.
Yeah.
So I think it might jump back to a 10. It's going to be very interesting though when we get healthy to see what he does. But I think it would expand to a 10 at this point.
Yeah, recap. I'll just let my plan here. I think
Yeah.
everybody that's coming back from injuries is a question mark on their head, on each one of them.
Hmm.
I mean, this elbowitis. I got a kick out of that, but that
State,
was
man.
going back and forth
Jeez.
last night, and it got to be a little bad. I
Right,
mean,
right.
if you don't like Burks, you don't like Burks. I get it. We don't want Burks from 2 years ago being a point guard, bringing the ball up all the time. We don't want that. We want him in the corner to get a three off. Because we're missing OG. So we got 3-point shooters now. We got Bojan, we got Burks, we got OG, we got Dante. We got plenty of guys that are around the perimeter to pass the ball to. You just got to get it to him instead of having Brunson charge to the rim every time he crosses the line. Sit Hart in the second unit. You know, and he don't even have to be a ball handler to bring it across the line. Let him keep his same job. He's good at getting rebounds, and that goes back to what we were talking about. Randall. Randall likes to fight for rebounds. He's got, in fact, he got hurt trying to get a rebound, right? He went up for a rebound, came down on his shoulder, didn't he? Or was he trying to put up a shot?
No, he was trying to put up a shot when he got that. He
He
came
was
down. He
trying to
came
put
down.
up a
Yeah, he
shot.
came down wrong. Came down awkward.
But he's in the mix for the rebounds all the time,
Yeah, normally
most
he
of the
is.
time. I mean,
Yeah.
is this going to affect how he plays defense now? It could. He don't play that great a defense anyway. That Now he's going to be a little timid playing defense. I don't know. But
We'll see.
the main thing is, like everybody's been saying, it's about getting our guys back healthy. But to what to what point are they going to be healthy? That's my point, and that's what's scary to me. Like it was said last night, plenty of times it's scary, and then it had to be tamed down a little bit, saying we're panicking. We're panicking. We lost 4 games. What's the big deal? We're still close to the standings. I mean, to get into the fourth seed at least, I think. And I believe that too. Whoever said, it's not important to get to a seed, well, I'll take the 6th seed and play anyway. That's baloney. We want home court, man, in every series we can get. Anyway, I learned my playing there. Thank you, Recap. Ari, I appreciate you offering help with my smoking that I'm having with my coffee right now. But I do got the Zoom class tomorrow. And thanks for that site. Man, I was thrilled to be able to watch Orlando. I never could. But anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it to everybody in the room.
Always, Mario. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for coming up and giving us your intake. I know that you are dealing with some problems right now. Hope you get better. Hope you feel better, man. And shouts to you, love to you and your family. And I know everybody in the chat's also giving you some hearts as well, too. So shout out to you guys. Also in the chat for the YouTube, I know I've been abandoning you guys for a second. Let me go to you guys. First of all, shout out to Ray, who usually on Twitter, but he's on the live today. So appreciate you. He says, congrats on the show. First time on the YouTube end. Let's go, Cap. Appreciate you, Ray. Follow that guy. That's my brother. We got Nick P in the chat. He says, we need a guard that can drive and defend. And that's where we're lacking right now. We got to keep our guys fresh. You're not wrong. We need somebody to help take the ball pressure off of Jalen Brunson. And the only way you can do that is get somebody else that defenses respect. So getting another ball handler who people respect with the ball in his hands, yeah, that doesn't do anything bad. Outlaw says, there were times where Jacob had the shot, but he always passed it up, especially last night. It got so bad that Jericho Sims told him take the shot, and he made it. He not, I know the more we talk about. He not wrong. He right. Jacob definitely a little scared of the moment. I think that's clear. It's nerves, but I think, consistency, he'll get there. If he could do it in the G League, he'll do it in the NBA. You just got to give him consistent time to do it. He just needs the time and the development to do it. I think he can be a very good player. Saying special, I think, is a little bit of a stretch. But if you're telling me he can't be a solid role player, I'd say you're wrong. Absolutely. He could be exactly what this Knicks team needs right now, which is a solid wing behind OG that we can give some minutes to. We have nobody to give us to give minutes to the OG besides OG. Like, who else? Not really anybody besides. We got to makeshift somebody really there, But shout out to you guys in the chat. Really appreciate that. If you guys do want to keep going with the chat, hit that chat up in YouTube. If you want to come back to X, hit the chat up in X as well too. But make sure, no matter what you're doing, share this space. Whether you're sharing it off of YouTube, sharing it off of X, share it everywhere. So that way people know they can come up here, jump into the chat, listen to you guys, the Knicks fans, get off their takes about the New York Knicks, what they feel about the team. But also, this next topic we're going to get into, Jay, before we get into Ev, and it's really about the New York Knicks potentially with Cleveland. Now, I know Cleveland really good right now, so it might be stupid to talk about this, but we got to talk about it right now. It was reported by the Ringer, Howard Beck, that if the Cleveland Cavaliers, currently second in the East, flame out in the first round, will Donovan Mitchell ask out? Or if Mitchell, slated for free agency in 2025, balks at the contract extension, as rivals expect him to, will the Cavs preemptively trade him? There's no doubt he's leaving once his contract ends. That's what a Eastern Conference executive states. So it's basically echoing the fact, stating more or less, that Donovan Mitchell is leaving Cleveland. Why do I mention that? To mention this. The Suns, currently 32-22, fifth in the West. What if they get bounced in the first round? According to Howard Beck, the Eastern Conference exec he's speaking to. Durant for sure looks around. Durant always has a wandering eye. And if Durant left, Booker would have to consider his options too. Now, why do I say that? Oh, I say that to say this. The Minnesota Timberwolves, now leading the West at 37-16, have soaring expectations. But what else do they have? A soaring payroll that will almost certainly be reduced soon to avoid the max-free luxury tax bill under the new CBA. The most likely solution? How do you fix that? You get rid of a large salary. Makes a lot over there. Oh, trade Karl Anthony Towns. And here's what one Western Conference executive states. I think it happens this summer. So, I say all that to say this. Chemistry versus talent. Isn't that what we're talking about? Right? Keeping the roster that we have, rolling with the guys that we have, keeping the chemistry, the fit, or experimenting, ruining it for a player that you believe could make you better. Because that's on the table here. You may not like it this season, but it's there. The potential for a Donovan Mitchell trade is there. They look good right now, don't they? Like real good. Looked good last year too, didn't they? Till they didn't. There's moments like that. Remember that. Things look good until they're not. Come home early one day from work, trying to surprise your girl, everything looks happy, till you hear the bedroom knocking a little bit. Nobody's supposed to be home. Things ain't so good no more, huh? Let's remember something real quick. Opportunity and situations, they change frequently. And we're talking about the NBA here. They probably change weekly, if that. If some team doesn't get to the expectation they need to, and they need to make a move to help them move forward in the future, these are the moves they're talking about. Cat has been out there. They flame out, and Cat is a major factor in that. I think he's gone. Donovan Mitchell, same thing. He wants to win. He doesn't want to lead a team to nothing. He'll want out too. Booker, I'm not saying it's something to look at now. They invested too much money in there. But you're telling me it can't happen at all? You're telling me if they flame out completely, he's not going to look elsewhere? It's a good thing the Knicks are on the East, right? Because everybody keeps telling me you don't want to trade within division rivals. So that means a West Coast team will be happy to trade with me and all my picks and all the things I got. So it begs the question, Jay. Do you preserve the team? Or do you take it to an experimental level and say, you know what? I want to go after the star, the superstar. And you can give your take, and we'll go right into Ev, and then we'll go to Jake.
Yeah, okay, so the way you presented this, all right. So this is crazy because now I have a whole different perspective now. Like
that's why I presented it that way.
Okay, so as far as I'm concerned with Donovan Mitchell and the Knicks, I think there's always going to be smoke there. I think there's always going to be that what if factor for the simple fact that, he's a New York guy and, the Knicks were reportedly, after him already, and the whole Quentin Grimes and RJ debacle, and, like Cleveland isn't New York. Let's be real here. So it doesn't matter how good they look, how well they play. I think Donovan Mitchell being in a big market just makes sense for so many reasons. And it would be great if it could be his hometown team, the New York Knicks. But I don't see it happening. And I'm going to tell you why, recap. It's because we got Jalen Brunson. Number 11. I don't give a damn about a spider. We got Jalen Brunson. And every time you put Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell in the same arena and they on the opposing team, I don't give a fuck if it's the East Coast or West Coast, you know what's going to happen. That boy Brunson going to cook him. I don't want Donovan Mitchell. I'm sorry. Keep him. He's good, but no, we already got him. We got the better version, in my opinion. That's where I'm at with that. Now,
nobody comparing the two. Ain't nobody comparing the two. You playing them together. What are you talking about? You're the two.
No, they're redundant to me, recap.
No, they not. No, they fucking not. They not at all. What are you talking about? They not redundant. Donovan Mitchell, you talking about automatic? Oh, my Lord. Look at what he's doing right now. Point guard. Get out. Oh, Jay, man. Don't say that to me, Jay. Don't say that to me, bro. If he was 6'5", yeah, I could maybe see it working. You can't say size. We got OG. We good, man. We got the wing we needed. Stop telling me about size. And he defends. He's defending now. I'm watching the games. He's defending.
Could he defend in the playoffs?
Oh my lord, bro. Oh my
How'd
lord.
he look in the playoffs?
He looks like he
'Cause I
needs
remember that.
Jalen Brunson. That's what he looked like.
Mm, listen, man. I'm going with Brunson, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm standing on business today, man. Shout out to Eddie.
It's
I'm standing
not
on
Donovan
business, man.
versus
I don't want
Brunson.
to.
It's not Donovan versus Brunson. It's not them versus each other. It's playing them together. Stop doing that, Jay.
All right, man. Okay. All right. All right. Let's. Okay. There is a reality where they could coexist. You feel me? I just don't like it. Optically, I like my shooting guard to be at least 6'5". I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. You feel me? Shout out to Dante because he ain't 6'5", but he plays that role really well. And I rather him over Donovan Mitchell. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna say it.
Man, might have to stop the show. I put a graphic on my YouTube right now. I don't even want to show my face. God damn, I don't even want to talk to Jay right now. Ev, what's going on? Jay, I might drop you, bro. Ev, what's going on, man?
What's good, recap? Jay, my guy. What's up, Miguel? Shout out to all the speakers. Jake, my dude. Ari. I don't know where the wolf went, but he bounced, I guess, after his take. But shout out to the room. Shout out to Homer and everybody who's up in here. Yeah, man. I mean, when it comes to like honestly, since the Knicks got OG, like to me, the only two guys I really need on the team and everything out could be built out around those two guys is Brunson and OG. So like when you get when if you are to get Mitchell, which I think these two have been fucking the Knicks and Donovan Mitchell have been circling each other like fucking pit bulls on an open field. You know what I mean? Like who's gonna make the
Put
fucking
those
first move?
hundreds down, Jay. You don't have no right to put no hundreds in the chat at all. You are emotionless during this take. You let my man Ev cook. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ev. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for Jay's
I
intro.
could definitely
Yeah, go
with
ahead.
OG on the roster, I could definitely see an iteration of the Knicks that works with Mitchell and Brunson both cooking at simultaneously. Especially like if we just look at like the last few weeks, like I need anyone or anything to just take some innings from Brunson. Like Ari was saying, there's no all minutes aren't equal. Brunson's been playing 40 fucking tough minutes a game now for about since the new year. Since all these guys went down. So if you're to get someone like Donovan Mitchell and they could kind of, they could, tag team, we get motherfucking Billy Gunn and the Road Dog, Jesse James out there. Each one of them kind of do their things in tandem.
Talk your
That'd be
talk,
good.
Ev. Talk your talk, Ev.
That'd be good. I'd be with it. I don't know what the trade looks like, but again, that's not really for me to kind of figure out. But whatever. Like honestly, like since the Knicks got Brunson, I'm so comfortable with whatever the next move is because I know at its best, Brunson's gonna get us to 45 to 50 wins and a playoff spot because of the type of guy he is. In the past I used to be kind of abrasive about upgrading the Randall position. And I just wish it was someone other than Cap because though it is an upgrade, it's like when you buy an iPhone in like 2023 and then you upgrade to the next one in 2024. Like, oh, what you do? Just fuck with the camera a little bit. It's not the world's biggest upgrade. It's a little subtle, but there'll be things that are definitely upgrades. Even though Cat in the playoffs, he's a little fugazi just like Randall, but we'll see. You know what I mean? But I'm open to whatever. I think this is just about picking the right guys, and making sure it's the right move. Book is another one whom if the Suns do flame out, and if I was Book, I'd be a lot more pissed off about the situation than the Suns than other guys would be, because I would just sit there and be like, I went to the finals, then I was on a 64 win team, we had all our assets and all that's gone. And now I got KD who might want to dip at any point in time. And, we're oft injured. We don't have any fucking big guys on the team. We don't have a fucking point guard on the team. Like, what the fuck? Why'd you gotta clear my cupboard like this? What's going on? So, like, Book Book is someone that, could be on the radar or whatever. Whatever that next upgrade will be, just kind of understand like the two guys that I kind of need in place is Brunson and OG because OG is gonna make he's going to be the glue, the connective tissue between whatever that other star may be, going into the future, whatever that future may hold. But I think in terms of this season, man, before we even get to the summer, where we let our imaginations run wild, which is fine. That's fine because if you think about basketball all the time, and you a Knicks fan and you want to think of what the next level is, it's all right for you to think that way. It's all right for you to start looking in the future. So I'm not even going to bash that in any type of manner. But if we're going to talk about this season, I think this season is just important to get our guys healthy back. As I would like to get Randall back just because I need to get some ease off of Brunson. Like I need someone else to be that innings eater, someone else that you could give the ball to who's going to go 7 innings. You feel me? No, that guy is not present on the roster outside of Julius Randle. Because again, like Ari was saying, All-Star Week is not even a fucking break for real. And Jalen Brunson, he's kind of like the new sensation. He's going to be doing interviews. He's going to be doing the 3-point contest. You know what I mean? All these media appearances, so on and so forth. So it's not even going to be a restful period for him. He's going to have to kind of get right back into the action of things. I just need somebody to kind of take some weight off of him, especially offensively, especially with ball handling, because that dude doesn't exist. And it's not fucking Alec Burks. Alec Burks, I'm sure once the team is more like looks like what it's supposed to be, he won't be kind of doing the kind of dickhead shit he's been doing as of late, just kind of taking wild ass threes with a hand in his face and stuff. But for the Knicks to get to where we want them to go, which is we want that 2 seed, that 3 seed. I mean, I'm not scared of getting a 4 seed because eventually, like, if we want to get to the finals, and it's a team that we believe could get to the finals, we're gonna have to beat the Celtics regardless, whether it comes sooner or later. You know what I mean? The only difference is oh well, I lost later. That's the only difference you're gonna be able to say if you believe that the next team can't beat the Celtics. I was able to survive for 2 more extra weeks, but the team that was gonna beat me anyway fucking beat me. Like, okay, whatever. Um, so whatever the case may be, I need Randall back. I need Hartenstein back because I think just what he's been able to do for the offense in terms of his passing, just his quick decision making. Just I need those guys back. I need to just take off a lot of pressure from Brunson because he's carrying a lot right now, and slowly it's gonna wear him down. And the Knicks need to be able to have a full quartet of guys so that they can open up more big leagues, so that can rest more in the fourth quarters of games, so that we're not thugging it out every goddamn game like we have been for about the last 2.5 weeks. We need to kind of get out of that trench work. We need to be able to just whip someone's ass and sit the fuck down. But we won't be able to do that without a full roster. So in terms of the buyout market, just give me a big who knows how to fucking play the drop, dog, and and not fuck shit up, protect the paint, a Dibs type center. Probably Robin Lopez. I don't think he's as effective as his brother might be in that type of dropping defense, but something like that. Just again, whole innings, innings, just kind of make a flow. We're 11 games over 500. By the end of the season, you want to be somewhere in that range between 18 to 20 games over 500. That'll get you in that third, fourth seed conversation. That's where we want to be as a team. So I'm not really tripping about the recent losses, except yes, please lower some of these guys' minutes. If we're gonna get our asses busted anyway, don't don't get your ass hurt. All right. If you're gonna be in a fight, you could get beat up a little bit, but don't get fucked up. I don't want to go pick you up at the hospital or anything like that. So, that's what I really need from the Knicks is just kind of let's survive. Everybody who don't have any all-star game fucking responsibilities, go to the fucking beach, relax, get hella massages, smoke, drink, enjoy yourself, be around your family. And let's come back and get the shit February 22nd against the Sixers in Philly. Let's go.
Is it the yeah? It's the Sixers. I appreciate you, Ev, man. Thank you so much for coming up. I don't know if I hear from you a lot, but I hope you come up more often. Like I always say, man, I love prioritizing new speakers up here. If you haven't spoken already and you want to, you can leave the YouTube chat briefly if you want. Go over to the app X, follow myself, follow my co-host, obviously, Jay. You see his @ on the screen, @Anytime Knicks. And make sure once you do that, you jump into the space, you hit that request button, you'll come up here. Like I said, you will be prioritized. You'll jump to the head of the line. You'll be able to give your takeoff. If everybody in the space currently can share the space, that would mean so much to me. It'll let everybody know the space is still going on. We're rolling for another hour before we're out of here, so it would definitely help that out. Before we finish, though, let me go to the chat because they killed Jay real quick, and I definitely got to go to the chat because they killed Jay. And shout out to CPD Artist as well for being in the chat. Trav B in the chat as well too on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Definitely Trav got your ass, by the way. I'm gonna read Trav's comment first. Trav B says, "Wow, come on now. Donovan and Brunson would be deadly." Let me repeat that again for you since you didn't hear that. Donovan and Brunson would be deadly. Stop it, Jay. Stop it. And Killer Kamikaze said, if Lillard and CJ worked out for many years, then definitely Donovan and Brunson can work.
Terrible comparison. Nope.
So address that. So address Killer. Address Killer real quick. That's his comment, and he's saying that to you. He says, if they could be if that could work and that's a double threat, why couldn't it work for the Knicks? Are you kidding me? So what's your response to Killer Kamikaze on that?
Dame and McCollum ain't want a damn thing together. McCollum is over there. He's over in New Orleans, and Dame is struggling with the Bucks. Like, what are we talking about? But yo, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I love my Knicks, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm rocking with the team heavy. You feel me? I'm a homer.
So another thing says, let me see. So King Third Eye Supreme says, what's crazy is that Burks don't play defense, guys. We might have lost the trade with Detroit. Nah, we definitely didn't lose that trade with Detroit. We got Bojan Bogdanovic. We didn't lose that trade. It doesn't work right now. It doesn't look right now. Just because it doesn't look right now, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. We didn't think a lot of us thought Precious didn't work for the first couple games. Pretty sure nobody's saying that about Precious now. So we got to remember that. Let's see some other people cooking Jay real quick. Hold up. What did they say here? Yeah. Finesseful J. I don't know if that's J from Florida, but it says Finesseful J. That's pretty cool. Spider could be an above average defender. Giving him more support would get him being back to that for the long term. I agree, and a lot of people in the chat already said it because they watching the games, Jay. He's a better defender now with Garland out, Brand. I'm telling you. If you're not watching, bro, he's a better defender now. He is. And then CP the artist says, I disagree, Jay. That duo would be great. So you just getting cooked, Jay, is what I'm trying to say, all right? Ain't nobody agree with you, Jay. Nobody agree with you, okay? That's what I'm trying to say.
Shout out to CP.
I know you better say that. Let's go over to Jay. Let's go over to Jake real quick. Yo, my guy Jake, man, what's going on, fam? We can talk about anything with the New York Knicks. You can talk about the game last night. You can talk about the Ringer's recent news about Donovan, Cat, and potentially Booker, or any other topics that you want. But what's going on, family?
Yo, what's up, y'all? My apologies if you hear a baby in the background. We just recently found our screaming voice, so you might hear some of that. Yeah, man. Jay, Jesus Christ, man. If the chat didn't cook you, I was about to flambe your ass, man. That shit was fucking terrible.
Nasty work, man. Nasty.
I genuinely don't know why. And Jay, this is not like me talking shit. I'm just saying, like, everybody seems so reluctant to shake up this roster because of 1 month of basketball. And I get why people feel that way, but I need y'all to really shift y'all's focus on regular season versus postseason. Postseason is a different animal. January, as good as they were playing, they were dominant. Teams don't have the amount of preparation and the amount of intentionality on a game-to-game basis. I don't think anyone really realizes how intensely the Knicks play every regular season game. I mean, maybe you do now because the whole goddamn team is hurt and we're still playing guys 45 minutes a night because, you know, Tom Thibodeau wants the victory. But, you know, that's besides the point. I think, you know, recap those names that you mentioned are all very interesting names. I do have a question before I kind of give my take, though. Teams like the Timberwolves, right? Because I believe the new CBA is going into effect this summer. Mm-hmm. Would they be a second apron team, and would that also mean that you cannot aggregate salary in a trade for, say, a Karl Anthony Towns, and you would have to actually match that salary one for one?
I believe you have to match it. If you make the trade this summer when it goes into effect, you'd have to match it. which is why
Yeah.
people said it was harder to trade for him. That's why they wanted the Knicks to either trade for him either during the season or before the season, because this offseason it makes it extremely hard to trade for Cat.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I would say it's probably damn near impossible then at this point because I don't see anybody on the Knicks roster being able to match that salary. So might want to cross that name off the board. I know Ari from Manhattan would be happy with that. He's definitely not a
Well, you
fan of
could do
Cat.
it if you wanted to. You could make a contract. It wouldn't make sense to do that trade, but you could
Right.
do it if you wanted to. But
Yeah.
again, Mitch and Randall probably some other things as well too. But that's pretty much what the basic setup would probably be.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, me personally, I would like Donovan Mitchell on this team. I have said for some time, and going back to his Utah days, the guy's a fucking point guard, man. I mean, he just takes that role and plays it so well. And it wasn't surprising to me that when Garland went down and he went into that point guard role, not only did they not even lose a step, but they actually kind of played better, which is crazy because they were also missing, Mobley, and as inconsistent as he's been on the offensive side, he at least brings it every night on the defensive end. Um, so yeah, man, I think definitely Donovan Mitchell would be a good fit. Devin Booker's intriguing to me. I don't know how much it would cost. My issue with the whole Knicks summer trade thing, personally, is I understand now that we've kind of emptied the war chest with all the young guys, right? There's no Quentin Grimes on the team anymore, no Obi, no RJ, no IQ. Everybody's gone, right? So it's very seldom that you see these type of trades happen where there isn't like a prized young player in these type of trades, which leads me to believe that it might be like it might have to be like a three-way trade because if the team is truly blowing it up or they're trying to reset and they're after draft assets, then you would imagine that they don't want like a 35-year-old Bojan Bogdanovic or like an Al Burks in a trade package. So I think it creates another obstacle. I guess the Knicks can still get it done, but yeah, man, I think that what this team desperately needs is somebody opposite Brunson that can also run the offense. Um, as critical as I've been about Julius Randle, I think in his current role of like playing the bully ball and like being quick in his decisions is good for the offense, but it also limits itself because I think that what I think when you try and take the ball out of Brunson's hand, which is 1,000% going to be the game plan every single playoff game that we play in the postseason, what's going to end up happening is the ball is going to land in Julius Randle's hands. And the big question is going to be, do you believe in Julius Randle to basically have to operate the offense? I understand he's been, efficient with the driving kicks and all of that stuff. And, I can appreciate that. We've seen when teams are very intentional in, uh, bring in additional coverage. I would assume there's going to be a lot more denied defense on the perimeter as well once he actually crashes into the paint. So it's going to take a lot of mental processing for him to be effective. And I just really don't think teams are going to allow Brunson to just do whatever he wants. I mean, you saw it at the beginning of the season, then all of a sudden it kind of tailed off where people are just kind of letting him get to his spots again. I think that's going to change. So. I think absolutely the Knicks need to be focused on upgrading this team at however way possible. Me personally, I would have really liked DeJounte Murray. I think he would have been a nice fit. I think he would have held a lot of his trade value. And I think that's an important perspective that people need to like have. It's okay for the Knicks to experiment because to me, as long as these guys that you're trading for are able to retain their trade value at least like 80%, it's worth the 20% investment to go ahead and try it and see how it goes. Um, we'll see what the Cavs get back from Donovan Mitchell if they do decide to trade him. You've seen other guys around the league where they get added and traded. I mean, Kevin Durant in the Kyrie Irving situation, the way that went down. So I don't know, man. I think absolutely the Knicks need to try and upgrade this roster, and if it doesn't work out, you make another trade, and you kind of reposition things. But staying pat in terms of chemistry for 1 month of regular season basketball is not the way that I would like the Knicks to do business. So that's really all I got, man. Appreciate your recap, and shout out to everybody.
Appreciate you, Jake. Thanks so much. I appreciate that take, brother. Actually, obviously some things maybe disagree a little bit, but for the most part, especially on Donovan, 100%, bro. I'm glad that you took it to Jay as well. If anybody wants to come up here and take it to Jay as well on his Donovan take, by all means, please come up and do that. You have free right. I'll give you a free pass as long as you want. I might extend the show just for you. You never know. But for right now, I want to go to the last topic of the day, and this is hopefully we'll get a lot more people up here in terms of requests and chats. I know we got people on the YouTube as well too, so I know people are doing that. We got people at work and a lot of different things going on. So I appreciate everybody who is rocking with us right now. And more or less, this is a different time as well too. And I'm noticing as well too that I should look at different times at when and as I do these things, because I realize other things are going on at this time as well too. So who knows? The show might move again. This might just be a moving show. It just might be Knicks Live whenever. Might just be a pop-up whenever about something, whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we continue to move forward. But the show is definitely going to be a weekly show. We just got to find hopefully a more comfortable spot. But everybody who has been in this chat, who has been giving us the comments, all the love, all the support, really appreciate that. Again, my co-host today for the show is Jay. Again, up-and-coming content creator. If you haven't already followed him, please go ahead and do so. I don't really rock with people who I don't believe in, who I don't think is going to make it, who I don't think already has a good foundation. And Jay already has all of that, even more than that, honestly. So follow my brother. Make sure you're giving him your support as well, too. And keep an eye out for him, because I promise you're going to see him coming up as well, too. So definitely do that for yourselves, because you don't want to get on that train late. It's hard to get on the train late. Right now, he's standing still at the station. He didn't pull away yet. He about to, though, so definitely jump on board right now. If anybody else wants to come up, now's your chance. Hit that request button. Whether I already hear from you every single day or you're a new speaker for the first time, please come up here and give your take. I'd love to talk about it, because the topic we're going to talk about right now, Jay, pretty important. New York. Are we becoming attractive again? Is New York a destination for stars to want to play again? Because I'm looking at Jalen. To an extent, I'm looking at Randall, looking at OG, looking at the Knicks, thinking to myself, you know what? Best team I've seen for a while. All the assets I've seen we've had for a while. And other people notice that. Not only the Knicks and GMs and players notice that. Like, Jalen's balling right now. You don't want to play with that? Okay. You know, it's funny. Luka was on JJ Redick's podcast recently. And he was talking about Jalen Brunson, like many people are right now, because he's just the hottest thing going, especially for New York. He mentioned that he knew Jalen Brunson was great. He knew it when he saw him in a playoff game against the Utah Jazz, where he was just dominating, and they needed to win the game, and he won the game. That's important, right? What's more important is when they asked him about Jalen initially, you could just see his face and his body language. He wishes that kid was still playing with him. Wishes they had that chemistry together still. Wishes that, I'm not saying that Kyrie shouldn't be there, but I think Jalen Brunson would be a better fit right now with Luka. They all know that. They all recognize that. And the dip in play is no surprise. Luka's great, but there's a difference to it. Jalen Brunson is the main attraction right now to New York. Julius to an extent, but it's Jalen. And if Jalen is attractive enough, who's to say he can't pull off somebody that we're not thinking about? Somebody who might be disgruntled at some point. Because once you have the star attraction, Isn't that all you need to have a bid in to get the player? The Knicks have never had that as long as I've been alive, maybe even, not even with Melo. Because Melo, we didn't have the assets available. So we couldn't really do nothing. Right now is the first time we've ever had the assets available to do something with the team that we have. So that's the scary part. Jay, what's your thoughts on that before we go to Tito?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no clue what the Knicks are gonna do, man. Yo, shout out to Leon because like I didn't see this OG trade. If you did, yo, I think it was maybe Big Mo. Shout out to Big Mo. Like he's probably the person that I hear get most credit for the OG trade, like predicting it. But I didn't see it coming, So I'm just in a wait and see mode. You feel me? Like I personally wanted the Knicks to just swing. You feel me? Whether you hit or miss, just swing. You feel me? Swing for the fences, man. And I felt like the OG trade, like I feel like that was them, like getting to the batting position. And now in the summertime is when they take that big swing. Who? Just look around the league. You I don't want to throw this out there, but I gotta mention Giannis. Like, they're the team is successful, from a regular standpoint. But if you really pay attention to what's going on, they had a coaching change. They made a big trade for Damian Lillard, and it's not really clicking. You know what I'm saying? The trade deadline, they didn't really make a big move. They got Pat Bev, but I don't really think that's a needle mover. Like if Milwaukee, if they mess around and Giannis gets upset, I think that that's where the Knicks' attention should be because shout out to Embiid, get healthy. I thought that was probably who we were gonna go after. I don't even see that happening no more because his injury history. He's getting older. I don't think you make that move. So the only person outside of a Luka, which is like a dark horse for real, because Dallas I don't see him really leaving. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they continue in the right pattern. Like if they keep adding pieces around him, if they get another piece, maybe they can still make some noise because Luka is great. You know what I'm saying? He just needs that one more piece. You feel me? So I don't know if that means he's gonna end up disgruntled and want to go. But I'm looking at Giannis. If I'm the Knicks front office, I'm looking at Giannis because boy, if you get Giannis in the Knicks jersey, man, like just it's pie in the sky, but just dream
Yeah,
with me.
you making me. I'm not trying to dream with that shit. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that, Jay. No, that dream sucks. I'm sorry. That dream sounds like a nightmare. Actually, cause it sounds like you want me to dream and go to sleep and wake up, and then one day, not only does it not happen, but I gotta face this. They gotta face this guy in some playoff action or something like that. That's what you trying to do right now, Jay. You trying to pray to the gods right now that it's Bucks versus Knicks somehow. You better stop this, Jay. All right. I don't want to see no Giannis on this team right now. Okay, he's committed to the Bucks. He's committed to Lillard. Let him do his thing. All right. I just mentioned Luka. I mean, say like in turn, like listen, we heard potentially, right? There are whispers out there. Could be frustrated. Maybe not now. Certainly before. So if it happened before, it could happen again. Sure. That's all we're saying. And all you really need is opportunity. The problem was the Knicks never had the opportunity before. But that's not the point, Jay. The point is, are we attractive now? Can we pull stars to New York?
Absolutely, hell yeah! Like we got Jalen Brunson, man. LeBron is playing around with the Knicks. That tells you something. Like it's only one reason. Jalen Brunson is in town, man. Like he's the guy. You feel me? Like you want to play with him. He's a dog. You feel me? He could get a bucket. You feel me? Yo, he's undersized and he be having these guys dancing. It's hard to guard a guy like Jalen Brunson. You feel me? Like, I think if he gets a real true superstar next to him, not saying he's not, because he is in his own right, but he hasn't really won by himself to really put that hat on his head. If you go get a guy that's proven, somebody that's had deep playoff runs, been to the finals, and that's why I just said Giannis. But Luka, he I don't know, man. I don't know. I just can't see it, man. But yes, the Knicks are a hot destination, man. And I do believe that one of these superstars, if they get disgruntled, they're definitely looking at the Knicks. It's already been happening.
Well, wait. Here's the question, though. So that's part one of it, right? When did that happen?
For me, I would say honestly, It started with Jalen Brunson. The minute that he came to New York and he started making a splash, you feel me? And the front office started. They got OG like it's starting to look like a real NBA franchise now. You feel me? They got rid of the kids. They got some veteran guys in there. The team is ready now. You feel me? From top to bottom. The front office, you don't really get too much out of them. It ain't too much smut on their name out here. And as far as in the headlines for really bad things, Dolan got caught up in some stuff, but whatever, you feel me? But the front office is looking real competent right now. Mm-hmm. The product is good when healthy. So yes, I think the Knicks is definitely a hot destination for some disgruntled superstar X.
It's going to be interesting because I want to see how many teams or stars, if they are disgruntled, list the Knicks. You know how those trade lists come out, right? When the man comes out, I only want to go to these teams. I want to see if the Knicks are starting to appear on those lists a little bit more, especially with the Knicks, handling business with clutch and clearing the air there. Like, they're setting themselves up for a situation, if it were to occur, to be a likely destination spot. If you just look at everything that's happened so far. Because if the meeting wasn't for DeJounte, what was it for? Not only to clear the air, right? It wasn't just for that. Had to be talking about, well, moving forward, we got to be better. We got to do this. And, maybe we'll talk about this later on. And it's a lot of conversations that have to go on. And hopefully if it's a positive conversation, which Ian Baker said it was, maybe it leads to other positive conversations. And that's really what you want. Consistency with the conversations. You get that, you build more relationship, more trust. Who knows what could happen at that point? Leon has done things that I've never expected. So if he were able to do that, be another thing I definitely wouldn't expect. Let's go over to Tito. I see you over there, Jake. I want to go in order, though, for Tito, the state, and then we're going to go to you if anybody has any other questions. If you want to come up and also speak about if the Knicks are attractive right now, if you believe the Knicks are an attractive destination again and we can pull stars again, please come up here and let me know. Even if you don't, I'd love to hear both of it because, really, I do believe it. I think it's true, but, maybe you don't. So it's going to be interesting. Tito, what's going on, family? First of all, my guy is always one of the first to support on anything. And I love to shout out the supporters of all of the spaces or all the things that I do because I watch that stuff. I know all content creators watch that stuff, actually. They know who likes their stuff the most and watches it. Like, we know that stuff. And Tito's always been up there with me. So I got to give him props. I got to give him praise. When he's on my space, he always gets, great treatment for me. No disrespect for Tito allowed on my space at all. Got to give him respect and a lot of OG to speak. My guy Tito, appreciate you, brother. How are you feeling? And do you think the Knicks have become, again, an attractive destination?
Absolutely, 100%. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great day. Thank you, Cap. I appreciate it. I requested to come up and speak earlier, man. I'm kind of letting Jay off the, he's already got it and letting him off the hook with the nasty business of Westchester County owned. Donovan Mitchell, like, we want to talk all these players into existence, and I've been seeing it for 3 weeks, and we throwing it out there in the universe. I was like, yo, that's nasty business. Like, that's the dude that we should be talking about here. So
tell him, Tito. You tell him.
But I said, hey, you know what, man? Let me go. I was making a bagel, man. I said, let me go and eat. And I came back in. I'm like, yo, I'm good, man. I love what you guys do, man. You know that, man. You're the best at it, man. All you guys, State, Billy, all you guys, man. You run your Knicks, man. I'm always there to support. Yeah, I know that, man. I'm 100%, man. You guys do. I fall back. I listen to the comments, man. A lot of times I laugh because I got my own opinions. You know that. We all do. But yeah, I just wanted to get in there real quick and everybody was going. I'm like, oh, Jay, hold on a second here, man. But yo, it's all love, man. I love what you guys are doing, man. Keep rocking on. And I'm here, man, supporting, fall back and listen to you guys, man. Great work as always, man.
Tito, man, I appreciate you. And he came in with a quick take as well, too. Understands the situation very, very well. I love people like that, especially with, shout out to my guy Champ, by the way. We got a short while going. Man speaks for 9 minutes out of a 10-minute take. This is great. Why did we announce the time in the first place anyways? Why have time? We just go and keep. Never mind. That's my guy though, man. I should have keep dogging on my guy Champ. He knows it's all love. I used to do so many spaces with him. I should get him on a show. Actually, a lot of people DM me to bring that Nicotine show back. I don't know if we'll bring it back, but we'll do a version of it. I'm sure. I might get him up here for a Knicks Live episode. I think that would be comedy because I think me and him get at each other like brothers. So it's interesting. Let's go over to State, one of my great buddies, but also another fellow content creator, somebody else who I'll also have up here as a co-host for Knicks Live at some point. I've been on his show as well. Great environment, great space, authentic as hell. And if you haven't heard State before, turn up your volume. It's gonna be a treat for you. For the YouTube audience that hasn't, I welcome you to the stage, my guy, State from Harlem. What's going on, State? How you feeling, brother? And are the Knicks an attractive destination again, family?
What's good, bro? It depends on what kind of attractive you like.
So you're telling me there's a tier to it then. So we're not Luka like we're not Luka yet. So we're not at the Luka level yet. So what tier level are you? What star
Like-
can we attract at
like-
this point?
Like, we not gorgeous yet. We only cute right now. Like I don't know how to explain it. Because if I'm a Paul George, Embiid, those guys, people I hate, basically. I like
Awesome.
when you say attractive, like what would the player be attracted to when coming to the Knicks? Would he be attracted to the city? Would he be attracted to players on the roster? I don't know. I can't definitely. I don't have no definite answer for that
Is Jalen
because I don't
enough?
believe
Is Jalen enough right now?
Jalen is not enough.
Well,
If you're
I'm saying,
looking at it
is he
from
enough? Is he enough to attract somebody right now? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know, because the other players that attracted people to come play with them, they're taller, longer. Pause. Usually these guys are like, for example, Steph Curry. He's 6'4", best shooter of all time, MVP. Who you attracted to come play with him? Kevin fucking Durant. You got D Wade, 6'4", shooting guard, top 5 all time. Who you attracted to play with him? LeBron fucking James. So like, I don't think we have that level of caliber of player on the Knicks roster. Now, it possibly can happen, but the players that we're going to attract, I don't necessarily not like none of these motherfuckers. Embiid is overrated to me, and he's injury prone. Paul George, he's too fucking old. 2 years too late. Too many years too late. Who's the other necessary options? DeJounte Murray. I don't want him no more. It reminds me of the fucking Donovan Mitchell shit. I don't want Donovan Mitchell either.
I don't know if it's the
He's
same
short.
scale. I know it's the same. DeJounte's not the same scale. I don't think that. But
No, it's not even that. I just don't want a guard right now. Like, I want a big ass wing. I want another jumbo wing. The reason why I wanted the guard is because that's what was obtainable at the time.
that's interesting. So you think we need a wing more than another guard?
In my opinion, yes. You need 2 big ass wings, bro. You need 2. I'm still on that take. So, it possibly the Knicks could attract somebody, but the caliber of player that you think the Knicks can attract, I don't think it's the player that y'all.
But you said you said Embiid just now. Embiid's an MVP caliber talent.
Yo, that dude, he is
I know
super
he's injury
overrated.
prone. I know he's injury prone as hell right now, and that's the concerning part. But if you're talking about skill set and talent level of a player, he's an MVP caliber player. You just said an MVP caliber player would be attracted to come to New York.
Yeah, but he's not that guy to me.
I may not be that guy to
I told you
you,
this.
but he's that guy to the rest of the league.
All right,
Clearly.
so the rest of the league, imagine we trade for Embiid. He get hurt game 40. He's out for a couple of months. Then he comes back in the playoffs, and he's giving you civil rights numbers. This is why I don't want Embiid. I don't want him. It's too much unknown there. It's too much. I don't know if he going to get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know if he going to commit. I don't know if shit hit the fan. Is he going to bitch out and blame his teammates instead of taking upon his shoulders? Devin Booker, you're playing with multiple Hall of Famers. You haven't accomplished shit, bro. And you let Chris Middleton walk you down in the finals. I don't want none of these fucking bums the Knicks
You
is
don't want
looking at.
Devin Booker?
I don't want none. I don't like, yo. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I grew up with Kobe Bryant, Brandon Roy, Ray Allen, all of these great shooting guards. I don't like none of these motherfuckers the Knicks is
You
trying
can
to
go
acquire.
over there. You can go on the same fucking side with Jay then, because y'all are Donovan Mitchell. Y'all don't want. Y'all don't want Devin Booker. So y'all don't want to. Y'all don't want a great backcourt then.
Don't say y'all. State. I don't want these certain players because I don't like the fit. Devin Booker's a great fit for Jalen Brunson. I just don't like the player. I don't think he's that guy.
Lord. What are you talking
I think it's a waste.
about?
He prime Tracy McGrady.
We need scoring and shooting on a high level consistency.
So what about
besides
shooting?
Dante? If you had Booker with Brunson, not
heart?
only do
What's
you
his
get
heart
that,
like?
what?
What's his heart like?
Oh my
We
Lord,
seen
what is
it.
heart like? Oh, come on,
What is his heart
State.
like? 10 man.
Come on, State.
What do you mean? Come on. Yo,
State.
this
Don't
is
do
just like
that,
when I say I
bro.
don't like the Alec Burks trade. You dudes get up here, y'all make these initial assumptions, then when shit hit the fan, and I'm running AWOL on the timeline the whole summer, and you got people like Jimmy and witness protection and others, then what? Then what?
Man.
Then what? And when I turn out to be right, then what? We're 0-3 with Alec Burks so far. This shit gonna get worse.
All right, but as well though either, State. We're not healthy either. He's not going to play
bro.
that many minutes or get that many shots when we have a healthy roster. I don't think so. You think is he getting that many shots? Is he getting 16 shots when we're fully healthy?
Yes. While Randall's here, yes. I bet my bottom dollar on it. Yes. Because Tibbs is a meth head. Like, yeah. This shit gonna turn into a whole nother conversation. I'm just go to the next panel. Just go to the next person. Because Tibbs,
appreciate you.
I keep telling you, you gotta fight him from himself.
Yeah.
I think we can attract somebody, but at the end of the day, under Tibbs, you limit yourself. With Randall and Jalen Brunson, I don't think these dudes have the swag, the cachet, the pizzazz, the to attract a nice superstar to come play with them. So that's where I'm at with it. I just don't know right now.
Appreciate you. Before we go to the OG Billy, I want to go ahead and go to the comments real quick. This guy, I haven't gotten to the X comments. I'm looking at the Google comments all day though, so I appreciate all the YouTube comments. Got Nick and Ada in the building. Shout out to Nick and Ada, one of my favorite accounts on YouTube. Oh, YouTube, wow. Favorite accounts on X. Follow that guy. It's at Nick and Ada. I don't like the pairing of Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. Two ball dominant, undersized guards isn't ideal in my mind. So listen, I understand that. I get that, OG. But here's the thing for me. In my opinion, the way Donovan Mitchell has played point guard this year shows you he does not mind passing, sharing that ball, and sharing the wealth. That's why it works. And I knew that since last year because I knew how good he was as a guard because he would find people. He did that in Utah too at a smaller level, but he did. And if he can do that at a high degree, and we've seen he can do that with the Cavs consistently too, it works with Jalen because that's another guy that Jalen needs. Imagine them passing to each other. That's the thing.
Yo, I got a question for you. This is the meth coke shit I be talking about. So you want this small ass backcourt. Do you care that your big wing has an injury history and has elbowitis and is gonna have to overextend himself even more with this short backcourt? I don't think you guys think about the other
No.
players.
What I think about is OG Anunoby is a young wing who's developing in this league. Who had an injury? Yes, you are correct with that. He has been injured a lot too many times for my liking each and every year. I don't like that. However, when he has been on the court for the New York Knicks, he has been legendary, having plus minuses that we've never seen before, having the great State do spaces on him alone. So do not come up here and tell me that OG Anunoby can't help these two brothers. And if you haven't been watching the Cleveland Cavaliers lately, Donovan Mitchell can play defense. Oh my God. It's magical. He can play defense. Jalen Brunson can take charges. Oh my God. They can do something with their body. So they're not just going to stand there in the corner and not play no defense. So you're telling me I get two players in the backcourt that actually want to play basketball, that want to actually defend when they or do whatever they can with their body to put a person or a defender in front of him? Have the great Steph Marbury compliment Jalen Brunson's defense, his help defense, and not only his help defense, the fact that he can get in front of people. Stop telling me about this defense stuff. If anybody's going to come up here and talk to me about defense, then we're going to go play by play then. We're going to go play by play, and we're going to talk about the plays he didn't play defense and why. And the plays he did play defense and why? Because this defense thing is getting under my nerves. Charges are part of defense. Donovan Mitchell's playing defense now. The Cavs are, where are they right now? Second in the East? And they're missing who?
Yep. They're missing their top
So
defenders.
don't tell me that he's not playing defense.
This,
you can't win without playing defense. You can't have this record that they have without playing defense. This defense argument is stale. It's fucking old.
You have a point, but I take Donovan with Isaac Okoro and I'll shut up. But in the playoffs, when they target players single out players and the short guys,
that's why you need other players. If they single out Brunson, you can't single out Donovan because you got to pick your poison at that point.
I've seen them get singled out
because they playing separately. Play them together.
Okay. All right.
Who you stopping?
If that's your argument, then cool.
That's
okay.
How is that not my argument? I want to trade for Donovan. Trade for Donovan means on my roster with Brunson. The reason that it could work even more now is because you just solved the wing problem. You just got OG. Because you have OG and the fact that these two brothers are not dead on defense, they actually do something. That's why it works. And that's why it's gonna work. And it's gonna consistently work. But I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you because if I keep doing that, this show is gonna be 3 hours long. Let's go over to the OG Brutus because I got tight right there because God knows State knows how to push my buttons. But you got something to say, Jay, before we go OG?
You said Brutus. We got Billy up here, man.
No, I said OG Brutus. I said OG Brutus.
Yo,
OG
you
Billy.
tired, bro.
OG Billy. I'm tight. I'm tight, not tired. I'm tight. Sorry, OG Billy. I apologize. There's too many B's in my life. I apologize.
Don't get mad at me because Devin Booker ass.
Look at you.
Man, what the fuck?
You see what I'm talking about? Look what I'm dealing with.
I gotta go get an Android now. You didn't fucking call me Brutus, and I gotta turn this bitch up about 40 more decibel levels.
Just yell through your take and you'll be fine. Nobody will notice anything.
I'm not yelling today. Fuck all that. I gotta save my voice for All-Star Weekend here. Shout out to all y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to All-Star Break. Shout out to Marvel and the X-Men 97, man. Can't wait for March 20th. Look, man. Are we more attractive? Yeah, but it depends on who you attract. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're saying trade for Donovan, that's not really an attraction. That's somebody who we want to get. I think the attraction, I hope the attraction is Devin Booker. I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with Devin Booker. I don't know what the fuck State talking about. You can't be a fucking Kobe fan and not like Devin Booker. That's just an oxymoron in itself.
Please talk to him. Please talk to him, man.
Devin Booker did not lose that finals, brother. Devin Booker carried the motherfucker with back-to-back 40-point games in the final. They went up 2-0 and the motherfuckers just took over because he ain't had no fucking help. And you saw the same fucking 6 games I saw. When fucking Drew Holiday stole that ball and threw that oop to fucking Giannis, we all knew that shit was over from then. But at the end of the day, Devin Booker did his thing. Last year in the fucking playoffs against the Clippers when Kevin Durant was bricking every fucking thing, this motherfucker shot over 55%. I ain't talking about from 3. I'm talking about field goal percentage, over 55%. This motherfucking Devin Booker is an assassin, but it is what it is, man. You know, it's your preference, and I get it. But
some people just don't like
think
greatness. I get it. Some people just don't like greatness.
I get it. I get because I wasn't a Kobe fan in the very beginning. You know, it took me to the Redeem team to turn out to be a Kobe fan, honestly. So I get where State coming from, man.
He was on the Shaq thing about it, right? That he couldn't win without Shaq, right?
No, I just didn't fuck with Kobe, honestly. I just really didn't fuck with him until like other guys really fucked with him during that Redeem team. That he took that leadership role. When he did that, that shit crossed over to the NBA. He won MVP and 3 straight finals appearances. I fucked with him heavy then after that. I really rocked with him after that. But prior to that, I just thought he was like an arrogant motherfucker. I mean, it is what it is. He was.
For a reason, though. He put that work in to be, so.
Yeah, but again, he put that work in and you know, shit, we miss him. So shit, Absolutely. It is what it is. Absolutely. On that, we definitely miss Kobe. But are the Knicks more attractive? Yeah, we're attractive, man. But
what level of star, Billy? Like, I actually say the same thing. Like, so we are attractive, cool. So what level of star could we attract at this point? He told me. I think
the same name State said.
Is it Embiid?
Honestly, please no.
That's what he said though. He said Embiid.
I mean, yeah, because that rumor has been out there for a couple years. But as a fan, and you know, I've been on the train during the summer. I don't fucking want Embiid. Besides the MVP, Embiid and Randall got the same resume in the playoffs. I don't want that. I don't want fucking Embiid. More injured. That's the
exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want that shit in New York, man.
I hear you.
We're trying to build something, man, so we can sustain, you know, being a perennial playoff team. You know, I don't want to do all this shit just to fucking regress, because a lot of people had us regressing this year. So
Yeah,
I'm not really mad about the fucking injuries and all that shit. I'm not panicking over the shit. I don't want to see Alec Burks at the point guard because that's 2020 vibes to me. I hope that's not why we brought him back. I didn't want him back in the first fucking place. But I just wanted to get healthy, man. Let's take this time to get fucking healthy and see what we got for the stretch run. Start jockeying for a position. We're finishing at the All-Star break in the top 4 in the East. That's cool. Losing 4 in a row, that's not cool. But, I know why. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's doom and gloom and none of that shit. So,
Right.
but yeah, Dan, go back to your question, man. Yeah, we're attractive, man. I think I like Donovan Mitchell. I still like Donovan Mitchell. I've always wanted him, but I don't know if he actually fit with the team that we built now. I do like Devin Booker, but Donovan's having a career year on all levels. Career year in scoring, career year in rebounding, career year in assists, career year in steals. He's just these motherfuckers went 18 out of 20. In the first like 15 games they had, he was running the fucking point guard.
Talk to him.
This motherfucker's versatile, man, and I'm biased because he's a Louisville guy too. But Mitchell that's my guy, man. If we get Mitchell, I'm not gonna be mad. But for the fit that we built this team right now, I don't know how it would fit now. And then, if we trade for him, a lot of them pieces that we did build are leaving to go get him. I don't want that shit either. So I don't know, man. And the free agent market ain't that sexy right now. If you're talking like superstar status, or whatever, or star status.
Yeah.
We got a couple of pieces here and there, but it's really not that. It's kind of stale, to be honest with you, man. So, but that's why the East is wide open too, because there's not a lot of super teams out there. You got Boston who's doing their thing at 1, and everybody else is jockeying for a position. Like I know Cleveland's too, but we're gonna feel cocky because we beat Cleveland last year. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get healthy, man. We just got to get healthy and see what happens after the All-Star break.
Absolutely. Shout out to you, OG Billy. Make sure I said that right. Shout out to you though, bro. I appreciate you. Love what you do as well too. My guy does these elite pop-up spaces. Not only that, he's a great person to talk to. Let's have basketball conversations with me and Billy. I think spaces are created based off of conversations me and Billy have. Off of just nothing. Just off of good morning. Like, yo, what's up, man? Oh, nothing. Just watching his highlights.
We'll talk for about 5 minutes, man. We're like, man, you know what? I'm tired of typing. Let's
we
open one up.
disagree a lot though. That's why, but I love it though. But we don't disagree like a bad way. We share a lot of the same common core values, I think. That's the crazy part. The values are the same, but it's the way we get there that's different. But that's the best part, because I can acknowledge and understand where Billy comes from, because I can see it that way. I can understand his perspective. He can understand mine too. He doesn't agree with that shit. It's cool. Like, you don't have to, but it's basketball. That's the point about it. He can argue his point basketball with me. I love that. And that's why he's one of my favorite people up here. One of my favorite people to do spaces as well too. He's up there with Deej and Tony. Love those guys, man. Just the way y'all command the stage and the presence as well too. I look for people who do that type of thing. I try to be that. I try to encourage people to do that. And the only way you can do that is be yourself. When I'm up here, I'm myself. That's why I think I do that. When State's up here, he does it himself. That's why I think he does that. Same for Billy, same for Tony, same for D, same for Jay, my great co-host today. We all have that type of element. So I think if you want to do this and you think you can't, first of all, you can. Anybody can. You just got to have the dedication and commitment. But you also have to make sure that when you're up anywhere, you command that presence by being yourself. Turn yourself up to 110 if you have to. Just make sure it's still you. When you veer away from yourself and it's not you no more, turn it back down a little bit and get back to you. And I think more people, and this is just a general term, more people need to practice that. Turn some of your shit down a little bit. Because I think some of you think you so loud, you too loud. On some things you shouldn't be loud on. Perspective is anything. And context, that matters so much more. And if I don't understand context, you'll definitely not find a comment or a tweet from me at all. I don't respond on nothing I got context about, because that makes me a fool later on, and I don't like looking foolish. So let's go on to the next speaker. Who we got up here? Well, Jake, you had a hand up for a minute, actually. Let's go back to you real quick, and then we'll reset the room real quick. So, Jake, what's going on, man?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to touch on that Luka thing y'all were talking about earlier. Yeah, obviously, well, maybe not obvious, because turns out Luka's got a lot of haters out there. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's arguably the best player in the NBA currently right now. And if that guy is available, I'm cashing in all my picks. I'm trading Jay from East New York. I'm trading Julius Randle. I'm trading goddamn near everybody. Okay. The problem is that I don't know if that happens unless specifically you hear Lucas say I'm only wanting to go to New York because of
That's
the
the only way it
history
happens.
of exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to make another point about like the attractiveness of the Knicks. I'm curious what y'all think. I understand that Jalen Brunson is playing at elite level right now, and guys might see that and want to come play with him. Do y'all think that Tom Thibodeau is a deterrent when it comes to the attractiveness of coming and playing here because, of the minute situation and playing hard and every single night in the regular season and superstars sometimes depending on who it is, they're not trying to do all that. Their main focus is the playoffs and beyond. So I'm just curious
Finally,
what y'all think about that.
finally, somebody brought this up. I was waiting for somebody to bring this up. Thibs was the main thing that I thought somebody was going to bring up to me to tell me why it wasn't an attractive destination. And I talked to myself like, how am I going to talk my way out of that? Because they did a poll for players, and a lot of players did vote that they didn't like or want to play for Tom Thibodeau. I don't know how many years ago that was. I don't know if that's still true today or if winning changes that. Crazy things can happen, I guess. But that is something that's very interesting to consider. Jay, I know you had your hand up, bro. Anything?
Yeah, I got a rebuttal to that, Jake. That was a good take. I
Yeah.
honestly, I think Luca and Tibbs make a good pairing. Luca a dog, y'all. He ain't scared of the big moment. Like, he get to it. You feel me? I think a Thibodeau and Luca union, I think that shit could actually work. Like for real. I really believe that.
Like I said before, I mean, I'm not gonna poo-poo Luca coming to the New York Knicks. I would love that, but it seems like more of a fantasy at this point. There's no reason for them to do the Knicks any favors. I doubt they would. Again, if it's available and that's something out there later on, sure, we'll talk about it. Let's let him get frustrated first. Let's let the things happen in Dallas the way they may. I still want that pick, so hopefully they get really good. They continue to go in the playoffs, and we get that pick. They robbed us last year, so I want that pick back. But shout out to you, Jake. I appreciate you, brother. Let's go over to my guy, man. Busy Bones. My guy. Always supporting the family. Really appreciate him. Always takes his shoes off at the door, as he likes to say. And give props to everybody around the room. And, more than anything else, I think a lot of people do appreciate that. Because we don't get paid to do this, but we do it because we love it. And I think that's the biggest part about it. That's why this is the best community ever. Because everybody in here loves the Knicks, loves the community, loves basketball in general. You can't find that nowhere else. So always appreciate that. Bones is one of the biggest leaders of that, by the way. Shout out to Bones. My guy, what's going on, family? How you feeling about the New York Knicks? And have we become attractive again, brother? Can we start getting all-stars here now?
First things first, my brother. Can you hear me? Am I coming through clearly? Because
Yo,
I'm
we
at
got you.
work right now. I need to know.
We got you clear, brother.
Okay. So first things first, let me take my shoes off at the door, pay homage to my man Cassius and Smooth, like always. Shout out to Miguel, Jay, from the East New York, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys holding down the space, you know what I'm saying, doing this. I actually look forward to it, so I'm listening the whole time while I'm here at work. Other than that, let me give my shout outs. Knicks take Jake, man. Yo, my brother, it's been a privilege for me to
My
stand
man,
here
what's up,
and,
Bones?
and bro, it's been a while since I've heard you give your take, man, and I appreciate you hearing from you and everything, man. I like that, man. Shout out to you, man. Much love, man. Brutus, Billy, State, OG, Mario, Cassius. You already know I'm surprised Melly somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure because she's always in the spaces. You know what I'm saying? Nick's Homer. Shout out to you, brother. Uh, Another thing, man. My man Recap did say support is free, man. So please do support these brothers, man, all around the board, man. All these guys are doing great work, putting out great content. You know what I'm saying? And even though the support might be free, man, don't get it twisted. That apparel costs us some money. So get some of that merch. You know what I'm saying? All these guys out here got some merch now. Get some of that merch, man. You're going to need that in your life. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, next Homer, I haven't got a little thing from you, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to holler at you on the DM. I'm going to send you some ducats, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna make something happen, man. I need one of those burning skulls or something on my shit. But okay, now let's talk some Knick basketball. First things first, man. Alec Burks. Sir, sir, let me explain something to you. That Knick team that you was on before is fucking gone, bro. They are not here no more. So this lazy ass defense that I've been seeing from you, especially yesterday, where you was not hustling to get out to the shooters, you was getting lost on the switches, and you was giving up these shots, bro. I, that's unacceptable, bro. We are not doing that shit here no more. We got rid of everybody that was doing that. We not doing that shit here no more. So get your shit together, bro. You know what I'm saying? What you did was you came here thinking, oh, I'ma just shoot the fucking lights out, instead of coming here thinking I should play defense and let my defense lead to my offense so that I can support these brothers and see what they're doing and learn the system that they're running. Because obviously, nigga, you're out there trying to run around looking like you're supposed to be knowing what you're doing, but half the time, I'm not everybody else. I see shit, nigga. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You look lost sometimes. Get your shit together. Please, Burks. Please. Because guess what? I didn't even want your ass back. But since you're here, please fall into place, man. Do what the rest of us are doing, man. Come on, man. This is New York, man. We need that. We need that defensive intensity. You know what I'm saying? When you on the floor, I don't see that shit at all, man. Okay. Now, next subject. Are we an attractive destination? No. Only to one person, one or two people. I would say Donovan. We're an attractive place for Donovan, and maybe Murray. Maybe Murray. Other than that, I don't think so. But but if we make it to the conference finals this year, fuck yeah, we gonna be an attractive destination. Everybody gonna want to come to this motherfucker after that. I tell you that shit for sure. Okay. Now, as we talking about these people that might be a possibility for the summer,
Well, yeah,
Cat.
so the thing is, yeah, we got a couple of possibilities. Cat was somebody, Booker was somebody, and Donovan was somebody. The reason we spoke about that is because shout out to Howard Beck for the Ringer. He wrote a couple of articles, spoke with some executives, and some executives said that they expect Karl Anthony Towns to be moved this summer, Donovan Mitchell to not resign, and if the Suns flame out and don't do what they need to do in the playoffs, and Kevin Durant jumps to another team, which a lot of people think is likely, Booker may not stay, and he might look for options as well too. So that's why those things have potentially come up right now.
Okay, so if that's come up and that's what we talking about, then guess what? We're gonna act like we in the lobby rolling dice right now, right? We in the hood right now. All of us be rolling dice, right?
Right.
This is what we doing, right? If that's what we talking about, let's keep it 100. Cat, I don't want your ass, nigga. You soft as tissue, motherfucker. Straight up. Donovan Mitchell, if you decide you want to become a disgruntled person and you want out, I don't want you coming to New York unless you fucking say you want to come to New York. Straight up. Enough of the bullshit with this fucking guy, bro. If you want to be here, say you want to be here. So that way we know that if we put our chips and all our and everything on the table for you, we know for a fact that this is where you want to be. We can't just keep going and say, "Oh, he's a New York person. He wants to be in New York." Yeah, but he hasn't said it himself. You know what I'm saying? So until you say it yourself, nigga, I don't even want you neither. You know what I'm saying? In some kind of way, I might feel that way about Murray. A little bit. I'm not too really sure about that, man, because I don't know if he has the opportunity to request the trade or not. You know what I'm saying? I haven't looked into that. I've been too busy grinding. You know what I mean? But if he is in a position where he can request a trade and he says he wants to come to New York, I'm all for that. You know what I mean? But my heart, my soul, my gut. Everything is telling me the real person that we want is right across the bridge in fucking Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? That's the one that for some reason, I feel like, yo, if we get that Bridges, man, if we get Bridges, man, from Brooklyn, bro, oh my Jesus, I feel like the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I really feel, man. Because I feel like the chemistry with him and these boys, the Villanova boys and everything, and the way he's been playing, I've been watching some of the games every now and then when the Knicks ain't playing, just to watch him. Yo, he's playing like he really want to win, man. He really be want to, do things and take his game to the next level. And I think that if we go and we get him and we bring him over, man, that gives him the opportunity to do exactly what he wants to do, raise his game up. So shout out to that, man. And hopefully that goes through. Let's see what happens, man. Other than that, I'm back work. I'm chasing the bag. I had to stop just to holler at y'all because I wasn't gonna come up, man. For real, I was just gonna listen. But I kept hearing all the heavy hitters, man. I kept hearing all my dogs, man, all my boys over here, man, showing love. So
Yes, sir.
it be damn, I'll be foul if I didn't come up here and show some love, man. So shout out to you guys, man, and everything. And State, we gotta get that hoodie, buddy. I'm hollering at you in a few, man. As soon as I'm done, bro, I'm gonna holler at you. And you too, Miguel. You know I want that hoodie, man.
Hey,
Other than that,
appreciate you.
I love y'all, man. I love everybody in the room, man. Shout out to my boy Jay from Florida. I see him in
Love,
the building.
love.
I see, everybody down there putting in that work. Shout out to you guys, man. Much love and respect to everybody in the room. With that being said, you already know I'm out of here.
Yo, love. Appreciate you. Real quick recap. I love everybody on this panel.
Yeah.
Jake, if yo silly ass Jake, I better see you next Saturday in my hoodie that I sent you. Also, recap. If you come next Saturday, I would love to see you in some State merch. I don't know. It would just make me feel
I ain't
good.
rocking my damn State merch to the first event to meet everybody, man. I want to rock. I want to look. I want to wear a fucking hoodie and shit like that. What are you talking about? I want to come out a little, look a little nice. What you talking
So
about?
this is a request I got from you because I want something exclusive.
What you want?
I want a real quick graphic of some type of TKR because I'm only making this hoodie for myself and you. I want a graphic of TKR and some SNYK like on the same thing. I need it for a specific hoodie.
You want a mesh? Like a
Yeah,
mesh
like
up?
a collabo. Yeah.
I think I've done that before, actually. I'll find something. I'll do something. That's cool. Appreciate you. We'll do
Need it
that,
before
though.
Saturday though. So because I'm shipping everybody's stuff out Sunday and I want to work on everything.
And everything. All right, boss.
Please,
Shit.
if you can.
All right, I got you. Don't worry about that. Shout out to the chat, by the way, Billy. I lost my shit when I read that in the chat. You are hilarious. Thank you so much for the laugh today. And Bones, if you see the live, by the way, I can't hide my laughter during your entire take, bro. You was on fire, bro. Flamethrower. You know what I'm talking about? God damn, man. The chat was alive for you too, man. It was hilarious. Oh my goodness, man. Everybody love what you was talking about, man. I think you're gonna be another regular up here. If I can get you to co-host the show as well too at some point, Bones, I'm definitely gonna do that as well too, man. You are hilarious, brother. That was comedy, bro.
Yo, man. Yo, you know what, man? Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate the love. I really, really do, man. You just don't know how you guys make a brother's day on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? And as far as hosting a space with you and doing that, we can do that, man. It's just got to be after 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But
I
it's
heard.
just got to be after 5 o'clock, man. But other than
Word,
that,
son.
man, I appreciate the love in the chat everywhere, man. Yo,
Yes,
y'all
sir.
know y'all heavy hitters, man. Y'all make a nigga's day go perfectly good, man. Even if I'm down and I'm stressed, I know for a fact that if I get on this X or if I get on YouTube and I join one of you guys stuff, man, I know for a fact that by the time I leave that space or whatever, I'm gonna feel 100% better. So that's a major shout out to you guys and everything that you guys do, man. Love.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Always appreciate that. Thank you so much for the comments and the kind words. And listen, man, we're gonna keep this show rolling. Gonna keep it going here. And shout out to everybody. We have almost half a K right now in views on YouTube. Got how many people up in here right now? Like 40 plus right now, and got 64 viewers on YouTube watching successfully right now. So at least 100 plus watching actively with almost close to 1,000 views. Appreciate each and every one of you guys trying to make this one another great episode of Knicks Live. It was a little bit impromptu, so I appreciate the love nonetheless, and the fact that it started the way it started as well too. Man, you guys and the love and support you show me, I really appreciate that. Hopefully, you guys show Jay that same support as well too. He's coming up, man. I don't know how many times I can say it. He's coming up. You got to watch out for my boy, man.
Yo, man, recap, brother. I appreciate you, man. This was fucking fun, man. I'm looking forward to coming back on.
Yes,
I'm looking
sir.
forward to the other co-hosts and shit. Yo, shout out to Recap Knicks Live, man. You
Yes,
can
sir.
catch me Wednesdays, 10 a.m., anytime Knicks show, man. You feel me? That's where I'm at. Saturdays, I'm doing Orange and Blue Crew with my guy JJ Seggs, man. Just trying to work, man. I'm trying to put myself out there, man. Shout out to all you guys, because y'all all are influential in that, man. State, Billy, Brutus, yo, my guy Stan. Shout out to everybody that rock with me. I rock with y'all, man. Love, yo.
Respect is respect, bro. Always respect that. And more importantly, bro, people give what you give back, and you've always been, 100 with everybody, Jay. So I think that's why people love and respect the things that you do. It's hard not to, especially when you're good at it. So we got to acknowledge that too. Stay. I see you got your white hand up, so we're gonna go to you, and then we're gonna go real. We're gonna close out the show with Brutus. So go over there.
Yo, major props to you. So
Yeah,
I see you got the YouTube up
I do.
at the same time you got the Twitter Spaces up.
I do. Yeah.
Shout outs to Eru, diehard Knicks pod. Me and him did that like 2 years ago, but you did it perfected. Like you perfected that shit. Like whatever I had in my brain that day, you actually perfected that shit. So when Eru first brought it to me, he wanted to combine this Twitter Spaces for a segment along with me and him talking on screen. He felt like it could reach more people in general because there's different people who be on Twitters and there's different people that be on YouTube.
Yep.
So salute to you for actually putting it together and perfecting that shit. That is a great tool. Shit, I might even steal that shit. It's so great. I ain't gonna lie. It's a great fucking tool. A lot of y'all getting a one-on-one class right now on how to sell yourself to the people. So I got my ways of doing it. Recap got his ways. I just hope that other people, y'all look at what people like me and Recap is doing, especially Recap, and you be like, oh, okay, I could do that too. And you could flip it your way. It's all about learning. So just keep learning. Never stop learning.
Yeah,
Peace out.
I appreciate that state. And yeah, man, it's all about I look at what everybody does, man. You can't learn without educating yourself. So I follow everybody because everybody has something new to teach me. I don't know everything, and I like learning new stuff. That helps me and helps my craft, helps me get better. It puts challenges in front of me, and the more I challenge myself, the more I get out of everything. So if I can add a challenge to life, I'll try to do that. I appreciate the chat, by the way, too, on YouTube with all the comments and support. Shout out to Rocky, shout out to John, Webb, Hamilton, him the GOAT, John again, my guy over here. I think I saw Brutus in here as well, too. We're about to go to him as well, but shout out to Brutus who was in the chat earlier. CP still laughing with me, and Knicks Galaxy as well, too. Appreciate you as well. So we're going to close out the show. Always good to close out the show with the mayor. And we're going to go to the mayor. To close out the show, he runs his own Knicks Spaces as well, too. Your Take Knicks. Right before each and every single Knicks game, you could catch him pregame. And for me, it's become a place of home. I can't watch a Knicks game without hearing Brutus yell at me for 30 minutes. It doesn't feel right. If I don't get the mayor yelling at me in my ear for 30 minutes, something has gone wrong in my life. I need to experience that. So I got to make sure that if I'm doing that, by the way, you guys are doing that. Talk about another person who's going to be a co-host for Knicks Live at some point down the road. My guy Brutus. Watch him, follow him, and definitely listen to him because he's been watching the team probably longer than most of you. So his knowledge is off the charts. Brutus, what's going on, family? My guy, how you feeling about the New York Knicks? And tell me, have we finally become an attractive destination?
What up, little Brody? Well, hey, man, everything is good, man. Can't complain, man. Yeah, man, we are attractive in my opinion. I mean, heck, I know somebody asked about Thibodeau. Would Thibodeau be a deterrent? And I would say yes to certain stars would not want the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what Tibbs is going to be about, and they know that they're not about that. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. We could stay away from those kind of players anyway. But there are certain players, man, it's not even going to matter. You know what I'm saying? That playing for Tibbs, some people already have the intel, i.e., Mikal Bridges. I know he already knows. You know what I'm saying? His bros did already told him what the deal is like playing here and playing for Tom Thibodeau. And Bones, you was a 100% right, man. That would be the number one dude. We unfortunately for him though, we got to wait 2 years. And that's the only difference. He has 2 years left. Maybe he could force a trade during next year, or that tell him that he's not going to resign this, that, and the other. He wants to be in New York, but not in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's going to go to that extreme, if he would do that. Same thing like Donovan. Like you said, Bose, that motherfucker has to declare where he wants to be. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, listen, this little Cleveland thing was fun, but I want to be home. I want to go home, and home is to the Knicks, not that sham show over there in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Cat. He could do the same thing. Hey, if y'all want to get rid of me, y'all don't want to pay that daggone super luxury tax, whatever, second apron, whatever. Yo, you could trade me, but I only want to go to the Knicks. So you see, these guys have a little say so, and where the hell they want to go. Will they exercise that? Now I know that the commissioners came down and he's fined some people for, declaring that type of stuff. But you know what? If you could get it out there in the back channels, you could get it out there in the back channels without you having to get, they take that fine like that. But so what? What the hell? Take the fine. When you resign, we're gonna pay the damn fine anyway. You know what I'm saying? You'll get an extra bonus or whatever it is to cover that. But let them know where you want to go, man. And this is an attractive spot right now. How could it not be? You know, I don't think we have to do much more than what's happening now. The only problem is if we bring in certain of these certain other guys, right? It does become a question of whose team is it? Whose team is it? Now we would all want to say Jalen Brunson because he's here, he's first, he's established, but some of these other guys have a little bit more cachet still up to this point than he would have. Like if you bring in a Devin Booker, if you bring in Luka Doncic, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think Luka's going to come here. They'll be trying to say that, oh, it's everybody's team and all this and that. But the media would peg him as the new leader of the team because he would be the biggest superstar. I guess they would do the same with Booker. Um, not Bridges, not Murray, or guys like that. But if you get guys of that second, that top ilk, then these guys, like Donovan Mitchell, even, you know what I'm saying? He's a bigger superstar right now than Jalen Brunson is. Has all rights to be in the MVP conversation for what he's done over in Cleveland, the same that Jalen is doing here. So whose team would it be? That would become a whole next conundrum that we would have if you get one of those type of guys. So the real question is, do we really need one? And I think after this year in the playoffs, we're going to find out. We're going to find out if Julius could be that a strong enough number two that with Donovan, with Jalen as your 1A, as they want to call it and talk about, can he be that 1A if he has a strong enough 2, and can they go far in the playoffs? And we're going to see a lot about that if we're healthy going into the playoffs with this squad that we have. And that's just my take on it, man. That's the way I feel about it. We are an attractive site. If the players who don't think we're attractive, we don't want those motherfuckers anyway. And that's where I go with it. Peace and love, brother.
Peace and love to the mayor. Appreciate you, Brutus. Thank you so much for your take, man. Always a pleasure listening to you take off some shots or some people who believe certain things. So always appreciate you, my guy. Let's go over to Smooth. He came up real late. I know we're going to end the show with Brutus, but Smooth's my guy. And I just saw him come up. I have a couple of minutes, so I don't mind letting him get a take off real quick before we end. So this is going to be the last take from my guy Smooth. Also does this content stuff as well. He hosts his own spaces. Although I don't know the schedule at this point, but I do know he's working with Cassius again. Players Club back. I believe it's on Sundays weekly now, which is amazing right after football. So, that's a great way to have a new space on Sundays. So definitely check that out as well. My guy, Smooth, Trapolina himself. Close this out, family.
You give me too much credit, bro, for calling me Trevor Leader. You see that new X-Men commercial? They got Gambit in there, so I'm a little hype on that one. My bad, y'all. I'm a little bit under the weather. But what was good with all the heavy hitters? State, OG Brutus, my guy Recap, Jay from East, Mario, everybody was good. As far as the question, I'll make it quick because I know you about to roll out. And my guy Jake, I see you. And Bones, what's up? Shout out to Therapy and Sports, by the way, too. Um, so as far as an attractive destination, I would say yes, but I don't feel the stars view it that way. Because you remember a point in time where we just couldn't get anybody, right? Because we were so bad. We didn't have great coaching. We didn't have great front office making good decisions. We didn't have really any like talent. But the last couple of years that definitely has changed. So now I feel a lot of like players will at least look at us now and say like, hey, like that's a good team. They were going to the playoffs. They're winning games. They're playing good ball. The only thing that really hasn't changed is the fact that superstars haven't chosen New York, right? Even if we had the money. So that, we'll have to kind of wait and see come the next like couple years coming up. So until that kind of changes, that's just kind of how I feel about it. Because I think we're, you know, good enough to where people would look at us and say, like, all right, they've been getting a lot of role players, right? Like Dante DiVincenzo, um, players like that. But the we still haven't got that real big fish yet, right? And right now, first we got to get healthy before we can even judge a team. Um, but we'll kind of be able to see how far can this really go, because we'll be able to see, is Randall really a number two in the playoffs? We'll see. Can Tom Thibodeau? I feel like this is Tom Thibodeau's best team ever once we're healthy, right? If you look at some of the previous teams, like the Bulls teams, they didn't have a bench like how we did, right? So, um, and as far as like a collective starting unit, besides Derrick Rose, I mean, who did he really have? Like Luol Deng, you know. So when you look at this team, like for me, I think it's his best team he's ever had. Like just a collection of talent on the starting unit and the bench. So we got to see what he could do with it, because maybe if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do in the playoffs, then maybe we got to make a change, right? So we'll see. It's a lot of questions that still got to be answered, but that's just the way I feel about the like the I definitely think the Knicks are more attractive, but the star thing hasn't changed yet though. You know what I'm saying? So, and we got lucky with Brunson, thank God he picked us. So, um, we'll just have to kind of wait and see, bro. Like at some point you have to get another big fish in here, right? Because like we don't know if this is good enough yet to get to that next level now. And I still view us as a contender. So it's just wait and see, bro. I'm not gonna kill the team because we're losing games or anything like that. Uh, we're just not healthy. I mean, we had our whole bench unit starting yesterday. Like, pressure. What was his name? Jacob Tobin, but was your best bench player. You're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna win games like that. So, but that's just the way I feel, bro. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do think that, in my opinion, my last part of my take will be, I do think the Knicks healthy. I think we are bound to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Just my opinion. We still got to do it, but um, I think we're good enough to get to that point. I think it's okay to start thinking like, yeah, this team is going to the Eastern Conference Finals. If they don't make it, I'll be disappointed, because this is clearly the best team you've seen as probably as a Knicks fan, except for me when I seen the Knicks as a kid going to the finals. So, um, I got big expectations now for this team, man. They've been, besides this little loser streak, they were playing really good ball. I know a lot of it was easy teams, but you still got to win the game, right? So, once we get healthy, get our guys back, we can really see what it really is. And then who knows? Maybe we might never need another piece. Who knows, right? So let's just get healthy. Let's see what happens. And that's my take, bro. I just wanted to come through and support you, even on my sick day. And I appreciate you hosting the spaces. I was like mad late. I was like, oh shit, let me support my brother. So
Appreciate you.
and I'm very proud of everything you're doing, bro. So make sure you keep doing it. And y'all have a good one. I'm gonna go back and lay back down and peace out.
Yo, appreciate you. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining this space, and thank you everybody for joining on YouTube. If you watched there, if you came to the space, if you did both, a lot of people did both. This is exactly what I wanted. Nobody does spaces like this, and I don't know if there's a reason for it or it's too much work or whatever the case may be. I want to be a little different. I don't like to go do things that people do, and I don't care if I approach something that fails and it does bad, as long as I did it with my own stuff. And I see shout out to Wave on the YouTube chat says that he's gonna do his own YouTube channel now. He's inspired by the channel that I've done and the growth that I've had, and and that's another reason why I do this type of stuff. It's because again, like I do with Jay here, and I'll let him give his final thoughts and close us out of the show. It's about giving back once you get something and helping. So I think that's a big part of it. And the support that I get from the community is important to that, but it's also my way of giving back. Jay being up here with me is a huge compliment to me that Jay would say yes to this, but also to get more exposure for Jay, because I think he deserves it. I think his basketball takes it good enough that he could be up there with some of these other people we talk about every day. And I like the way he knows ball. He can speak about it that way. So it's different when you know it, but it's a way you speak about it that really defines you. And Jay does it at a very extremely good level. So Jay, just final thoughts really quick on the show, on you, and anything else you want to say before we close out.
Yo, man, I think this was a fire ass space. I appreciate you, Recap, for having me on. This is definitely a big opportunity, man. Yeah, I had fun with it, man. I love this shit, man. I'm having a blast, y'all. I really appreciate this, man. Shout out to everybody that came up to speak and chop it up with us, man. We couldn't have had a greater show without you, So definitely appreciate y'all for coming through and speaking and giving y'all a take. And as for these Knicks, man, let's All-Star break is here, y'all. Let's just start getting ready for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? On both ends, on the court, front office wise, like the fan base, like everybody should just be getting their attention towards the playoffs. You feel me? So let's get back healthy. Let's get back strong. Let's position ourselves to where we in the fourth, third seed, and from there we go on, man. But yo, shout out to this Knicks team, man. I'm definitely loving this product, man. I really appreciate this team, man. Go Knicks, man.
Always, Jay. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for co-hosting. We will have Jay back on again for another episode of Knicks Live sometime down the road. At some point, what I would like to do is have two co-hosts of the show, but I can't do that with Miguel at times. So I got to figure out how Twitter's going to help me fix that. But I would like to have a couple of other panel speakers up here as kind of, even if you're a speaker, just as a host as well, just so that way we can have a little bit more of an open panel. I don't think that's ever been done before, and I'd like to see how that works. So, you know me, I like to try things that never happen, or if they have, I like to tweak it just a little bit, make it my own. I suggest you all do the same. Jake, I know you have your hand up, so I'll let you go real quick. What's going on, man? What you got to ask?
Yeah, just real fast, man. I follow this page, and they just posted this link for free NBA League Pass Premium. So anybody listening on Twitter or on YouTube,
wow.
I guess if you go to NBA and sign up for a new account, if you use the code All-Star Tatum, you get 12 months of NBA League Pass Premium for free. So definitely go check that out.
Listen, you just heard it here first. Appreciate you, Jake, for telling us that. So if you want League Pass for free, you already know where to go. Go over to NBA. What is it? Yes, NBA.com, right? I'm reading the tweet right now. NBA.com/purchase. It's on the tweet. It's above right now. If you're on X right now, it's on the bulletin board over there. But if you're not and you're in YouTube, I'll try to post this, I guess, in the chat. I'll post it in the chat for you guys. Appreciate you, Jake. Thank you so much, brother. That's why I love the community, man. The community helps with all this stuff. We wouldn't have known about that. I definitely would not have. There was no reason for me to know
Fact.
about that, so I wouldn't have. Good. Jay, you got something to say?
Yeah, I said facts. I'm doing that as soon as the space is over.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. Everybody better, man. We got to. As free,
Yo,
12 months.
I don't know if you can like upgrade your own. Like I was just giving it a shot. It wasn't working, but I would assume if you just open a new account, you can get it for 12 months free. So
Well,
if you
content
don't
creator.
already have one, definitely got to do it. Even if you have one right now, without the commercials, you could have 3 devices at once. So it's worth looking into. But yeah, I saw that. I just wanted to share it real quick before y'all get up out of here.
I appreciate that, and I think as well. There's a lot of other factors that go into what people use and what people watch and all the other things. But I think League Pass in general is something that everybody should have. If you don't have it now, there's no excuse. You should. Appreciate you, Jake. Shout out to my co-host Jay again. I really appreciate him coming on and supporting me here today. Everybody, whether you're a listener, you were a speaker, you were in the chat on X, you were in the chat on YouTube. Either way, I see you. I appreciate you. The support doesn't go unnoticed. I'm going to continue to build and try to continue to create on all of these different platforms and give you content that you've never seen before. If I can create something new and something that I think is efficient for the community, I'm going to do it. And I hope you guys will support that. And thus far, you have not let me down. So really appreciate that. Shout out again to everybody who joined in and anybody who's listened to the playback. Really appreciate that too. This audio will be exclusively found only on Believe.com. That's the new sponsor for this particular show, as well as for the Knicks Recap show. So appreciate them as well. Go check the audio out. I'll definitely post a link to that. You'll hear Jay on that as well too, and the audio will be remastered, cleared up, and hopefully I'll try to cut up all the bullshit that Jay was talking about with Donovan and try to like avoid it in the audio so it sounds a lot better. I wouldn't want your ears to hurt like mine did, but appreciate you. I'm just playing with you, Jay. Appreciate you, Jay. That's my guy. Follow him. Again, his at's on the screen. To everybody in the chat, everybody listening live, I know you're waiting for it, so let me just say it. Shout out to everybody watching the space. But until next time, Knick fans, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button as well, too. And if you don't have notifications turned on, make sure you do that not only on my content on X, but on YouTube and all other platforms. Until next time, guys, I'm Recap. My co-host been Jay. We are out of here. Let's go, Knicks. Enjoy the break.
Knicks Recap. Knicks Recap. Knicks Live.